look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or would you let it slip? Yes, hello. I am James Rowlands, and today is the WNR504. It's the year-end predictions 2023. I'm not alone. I have a pleasure to be joined by the entire WNR team. Up first by my side for every WWE and AEW show. Her palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweaty already. Mum's spaghetti. She's nervous, but on the surface she looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But she keeps on forgetting what she wrote down. The whole crowd grows so loud she opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. She's choking. How? Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out. Time's over. Blow. It's a fantastic Jaxie Scarlett. How's it going, Jaxie? Are you nervous?
Oh, wow. I got my own theme song this time. Wow. This must be a very special episode. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year's, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. How are you, James?
Do you know what? This is probably my favourite time of year. Not just with Christmas, but with the year end and all this hope throughout the year and just absolutely being smashed. You know, I remember last year being so far ahead and you catching me, and it was the worst Christmas I've ever had. So I'm hopefully today it can be better, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Well, here's hoping for, a new year and a new start for everyone who's had like sort of ups and downs this year. But this is kind of one of the more exciting pods of the year. I look forward to kind of a bit of self-reflection, kind of dick moments. That you look back in hindsight and think, what the F was I thinking? So, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of that tonight, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of doubt, a lot of shame. I'm ready for it.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So let's snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choked. He's so mad, but he won't give up that easy. No, he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It doesn't matter. He's dope, but he knows that. But he's broke. He's so sad that he knows when he goes back to his mobile home that when it's back to the lab again, yo, this whole rap shift, he better go capture this moment and hope it don't pass him. It's our resident NXT expert, New Japan deity. It's Monty. How's it going, man?
What an intense beginning. James Mathers, everyone. Wow.
Well, at least I'm not confused. I know it's old, but at least it's like this century.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a reference that I actually remember living through and and enjoying, even though I was, by the way, just to make you feel bad. You want to know how old I was when that song came?
Go on, do it.
7 years old.
Jesus. Wow.
There you go. But anyway, no, I love that song. So I'm honored to be here. Like you said, this show, these are some of my favorite shows. The WNR Awards, some of my favorite episodes of WWE growing up. I hate that they don't really do it anymore. It used to be when they wasted our time with a bunch of Slammy Awards, but I just used to like the concept of it. And the same, so I love the WNR Awards and I love year end because it's one of those times where if you can't come to this show with a huge ego. Now, by the way, all of us, we humble each other because all we do is give each other a hard time. But if you come to this show with the ego, especially with predictions or whatever, your year-end predictions will humble you really, really fast. You feel like you know a lot about wrestling. These year-end predictions just make me realize that I don't know half as much as I think. So I love doing these just for that reason, just seeing just how far off base and sometimes surprisingly on base, we could be at the end of these years. So yeah, I'm always excited about this.
Yeah, right, Shadow. I should say anybody listening to maybe for the first time. Yes, these predictions that we did at the end of last year. So a year has gone by and a lot can change, but we've still got another member, and last, but by no means least, and you better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go, because you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It's Gina. It's your time, Gina. Are you going to blow it? I feel you're in a pole position at the moment.
Yeah, I got my do-rag on. I'm ready to just bring the A game with this. I'm so looking forward to this episode.
Well, like I said, it's going to be a very interesting show because I know throughout, we have done this past couple of years now. I mean, I've had to put up a list for the past, decade nearly now, and it is horrible because you don't know which way it's going to go. But it's an exciting time, and it is that time. It's year-end predictions 2023. But thanks to AEW, we have for the first time ever 2 parts to these predictions. So let's have a look at what we're fighting for. So prediction leagues 2023. Of course, what 3 prediction leagues? We had the WWE League, AEW, and of course the bonus points as well. And this is after the deadline. The final WWE scores were Gina with 7 with a league win, James and Monty on 5, Jaxie on 2. See, I didn't say anything. Bonus league with 1 bonus point left.
There was no need for a pause then. There was absolutely no need for a pause after me. Let's move on, yeah? I think all year we've established I've failed in that aspect, okay?
All right. Yeah, bonus league, Monty 16 is guaranteed league win. James and Gina on 15. So what we basically need, boys and girls, is a perfect score for Wells' End tonight. So we'll see what happens. Jaxie's on 12. And AEW show 1 show left. This week it's really interesting. Jaxie and James are on 4. Monty, Gina on 3, of course, with Wells' End. We can only decide 1 league at the moment, which is WWE. So 2 points to Gina for the league win. So the scores right now, Gina is in the lead with 27 points. Monty is with 24 points. I'm on 24 points. And Jaxie, you're on 18 points at this moment in time. But, of course, 2 points each for league win. So we will find out next show. So that's another 4 points. So, Jaxie, you could be on 22. Well, we'd be more than that, but you understand, But, I mean, Jaxie, are you upset by that, considering you came so close last year?
Absolutely not, because whatever pushes you down just makes you stronger, and I already predict that I'm going to come out on top in the year 2024. So I'm going to take this as a learning curve. I'm going to eat some humble pie with the loss that I've clearly taken here and move on. Let's move on.
Yeah. Or not. Let's look back, all right, at 2023 in wrestling with the WNR prediction-wise. So what happened and how throughout the year. So we're going to start off, and of course Monty got the first points of the year with Wrestle Kingdom and the only New Japan predictions. With WWE, I started the year with a perfect score at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I did. NXT predictions, the experts lost the first show as Jaxie reigned supreme. See, Jaxie, you did win something this year. Monty then got a perfect
eat
score.
that, James.
Yeah. Monty got a perfect score and won at the Chamber. At first AEW show, Monty and James both got a perfect score and the points of Revolution. Why did I get so many perfect scores so early on? What happened? Anyway, it didn't work out for me in the end. At WrestleMania, at WrestleMania, Gina got her first points of the year, winning both nights. The second with James, who kept his Mania streak alive, barely. Monty got the first NXT points with a victory at Stand and Deliver, or the second points even. I got another perfect score at Backlash and the win, but Monty and Jaxie got the points at Night of Champions. But don't panic, that would be our only W point for a while. They double-teamed us again as Monty and Jaxie won NXT Battleground. Gina joined the fun as they kicked James out, and the other 3 got the point at Double or Nothing. At Forbidden Door, we all won. Gina only has 1 W win at this point, and we are halfway through the year. So just check that, all right? I just want to say, at Money in the Bank, Jaxie missed out as everyone else got the point. SummerSlam wasn't good for her or I, as Monty and Gina shared the spoils. In the good old UK, Jaxie got the last laugh winning All In. Gina won W Payback and took the lead in W League and wouldn't look back. Wow. AEW decided to be dicks and do monthly pay-per-views with All Out coming a week after All In. Jaxie and James got the win, but Jaxie still had the lead in the AEW League. The experts got the win at NXT No Mercy. At Wrestle Dream, it was a Wrestle Nightmare for everyone but Gina, who only got 1 wrong on a 14-match card. At Fastlane,
Insane.
James got the win, but this would be as good as it got. Gina got a perfect score and guaranteed W League win with victory at Crown Jewel. I won at Full Gear and tied the AW League 4 each. The final W show of the year, Survivor Series. Of course, Gina won this event. She won 5 of the 6 W events on the second half of the year. Gina, what the fuck is that? Can you explain?
I'm just polishing my crown at the moment. You know, my crown is just gleaming at the moment. So I have no idea, guys. I have no explanation for it apart from the G site. You know, it's a thing. It really is.
Well, I don't know.
Didn't you tell us you were a bigger AEW fan at the beginning? I could have sworn she said she didn't watch WWE like that. And now she's a WWE expert. Look at wow.
I mean,
unbelievable.
Yeah. Again, I just really feel like it was there for me this year, and you know, I'll happily take this win, but I'm also quite nervous because it's a lot to live up to for next year.
The last NXT show was Deadline, and the experts were humiliated. Jaxie and Gina got the win, so this is quite funny. Overall in NXT this year, James and Gina with 1 win each. Yes, I'm an expert who has done NXT update since 2015. And I get 1 win a year. Gina, just out of curiosity, do you watch the show at all, NXT, this year?
No.
Good. And then Jaxie.
I like the big pay-per-view events just to see how well I do. But talking about NXT on a weekly show, no, I've not watched one episode this year.
All right. Well, maybe it gets better because Jaxie, you have, haven't you?
I've watched like all the pay-per-views for that.
You've watched NXT this year, surely. You've watched one of the weekly shows.
Yeah, I think I've watched I've watched all of the shows like that, like come just straight after the pay-per-view. So like kind of to watch like the not the backlash, but like, you know, sort of like where things were left from. Yeah, the aftermath. That's it. Thank you. So, yeah, I'd say I've watched a few NXT episodes this year.
So that's not bad. So you got 3 wins with the NXT, which, again, doesn't really help me out. But
I mean, I think, like, my strategy going into next year will be to watch, like, the episodes before the pay-per-view drops and see if that actually increases my chance at getting more wins on an NXT against you.
Yeah, well, you won Vengeance Day, Battleground, and Deadline. Gina won Deadline. I won No Mercy. But Monty won Stand and Deliver, Battleground, Great American Bash, and No Mercy. So one of the NXT experts win on 4. Well done, Monty.
Well done, Monty.
Had to live up to the title you keep introducing me as every show. So had to win the New Japan, had to win NXT. It's a sense of pride. Come on, have some pride, James.
Yay. So great. It'd be funny if I win AEW as well, because, you know, that's probably the one I thought was weakest at the start of the year. But we're going to look back as well with NXT. But we've got some news, and talk about Japan as well, because it looks like WWE sending our NXT wrestler to All Japan Pro Wrestling for a title match. Now, Monty, can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, I was just as shocked as everyone else, but you know, All Japan put out a video, basically with their president speaking in English with someone from WWE and basically requesting an NXT star to be on to fight for their world championship on January 3rd, I believe. I think it would be one of their bigger shows at the beginning of the year, because Japan, you know, Stardom, Noah, all Japan, New Japan, they all have their bigger shows around the same time in January, early January, late December, and you know, so that's usually the range of when they decide to do these things. And yeah, man, it was a big shock because you know, much like last year when they let Shinsuke fight Muta, and that just seemed like a very special thing because Muta's a legend and Shinsuke is a legend, and you know, just seemed like they were doing a favor. This one is more so of the wow, you know, WWE could be finally everyone talks about Forbidden Door, but like WWE working with All Japan, that's something that they haven't done in decades. So, it was very, very surprising headlines. I didn't believe it at first until I watched the video I sent you, Justin, and seen it for myself.
Fair, yeah.
So, yeah, it
I'm
was
taking
very, very
credit for
shocking.
breaking this story, but it was you that told me. But I think the news is now that Charlie Dempsey is going to be.
Yes, he's in Japan already.
That's an interesting pick, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting, man. I was expecting, someone of like Braun Breaker or someone else's ilk, but it makes sense because of not only just what we believe. Me and you we're high on Charlie Dempsey, what he can do in the ring. So I think it'll be entertaining, and I think his style actually more than people may have seen because they may not get a chance to see how good Charlie Dempsey really is on NXT. But he can have a really good match with anyone with his technical style. So I feel like I understand it from that standpoint. But it was still a shocking choice, for him to be able to fight for their world championship, like that. So it's a big deal to me because again, it's just something that would be unheard of if Vince McMahon was still calling the shots. So AEW has a partnership with New Japan, so you can assume that would not be something that would not be something they wouldn't be able to work together. But to go and go against New Japan's biggest competition ever since 1972. I mean, they started in the exact same year. Inoki started New Japan, and then you got Giant Baba started in All Japan in 1972. So they have been, opponents technically, in the Japan scene. Even though, to be fair, recently Japan in general have kind of come together and worked together more often. Like when you got Noah working with New Japan, so it's a lot of big moves going on in New Japan, and now there's even rumors of WWE interested in working with Stardom. So who knows what's going on? But the fact that WWE is actually being receptive to this type of stuff is unheard of. So yeah, I think just from that standpoint, no matter what happens, I'm pretty sure Charlie's gonna lose. But no matter what happens, if you know what I mean, the Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship is gonna be on the line with Charlie Dempsey versus Katsuhiko Nakajima, which I've only seen wrestle one time, but I think it'll be a pretty good match. So I can't wait to read about it and hear about it. But yeah, this is again big time stuff because if they're working with people with All Japan, who knows what this could open up in the future when it comes to just working with WWE? Because again, this is just something that they wouldn't even do they wouldn't acknowledge anyone else existed. So to be living in a world where this would be happening again, it's kind of like when Vince retired, something I never thought I'd see.
Well, like you said, it's interesting times ahead for NXT to see if that, because Triple H had that global plan for so many years. So is this the kind of beginning of it, or is it something else? But again, it's good experience for Charlie Dempsey, and with NXT, their next big show is New Year's Evil. And my only hope is that Dragunov can remain, can get fit to beat Trick. And again, that's something we're going to look at in the new year. And of course, we're going to talk a bit more Japan later. But we're going to start with the year-end predictions. So we started in 2022. We had a blank list, and we filled out the champions of who we thought would be from NXT. So we're going to do this now. So we know the points at the moment. So Gina's on 27, Monty and I on 24, Jackson 18, and there's 5 points on the line here. All right. So, and if we get close for something like this, then we can always argue. Do you know what I mean? So there's wiggle room there. So we'll begin. And I'll start with my NXT champion because obviously, I'm an expert. You see how many I won this year. Kind of my brain, how it thinks. And my NXT champion is Charlie Dempsey. So not really the best start. Oh, you're laughing, Monty. Who did you go for, Monty? Please tell me.
I went with Carmelo Hayes, so I was wrong, but come on, he's the former champion, so I wasn't that far off.
Close there.
Yeah.
Jaxie?
Oh, is this NXT champion?
Yeah, who is your NXT champion?
Oh my god, I sucked. I chose Grayson Waller.
Oh, No. Because at the time,
not
he
not
was
as
doing
bad.
all right in NXT.
Yeah.
You know, no Charlie
Okay, well,
Dempsey. Gina, what about you?
I also went with Grayson Waller.
That's not bad. NXT tag team, Gina. Who was your tag team from NXT?
Pretty Deadly.
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy. Jaxie.
I went with the Creed brothers.
That's not bad. Again, Monty.
Idris and Blade, Malik Blade and Idris and Ofe, and yeah, there you go. No, they have not.
Yeah, they had a breakout year.
They're still a team, thank goodness. But yeah, they are not
Sorry.
Well, I went for Pretty Deadly as well. Yes, boy. So
I
women's
know you
next.
didn't go for Tony D instead.
no, Pretty Deadly. So NXT Women's Champion, Monty. What about you?
Yeah, I said Roxanne, so Roxy. So she's not the Roxanne Perez is not the women's champion. So there you go.
Jaxie.
I went Alba Fire.
Yeah, that's close. Gina.
I said Cora Jade.
Do you know what? You and me should be watching NXT because I said Cora Jade as well.
Wait, remind me who Cora Jade is again?
The one that's just for. Oh, you don't watch NXT.
Was
Monty,
she on the last pay-per-view?
Yes.
She the one who debuted on the last one. Yeah, she kind of re-debuted after the women's Iron Survivor match.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Again, I'm not really familiar with them, so I kind of forgot. I knew her name, but I was like, wait, which one was she?
Right.
So I appreciate the reminder.
All right, Gina, who's your NXT Women's tag team?
I had Toxic Attraction. Are they still a thing?
No, I think they broke up.
Wait, that was Gigi and someone, wasn't it?
I love how much of an expert. JC.
Yeah. Yeah, I too went Toxic Attraction.
Monty, what about you?
I did not answer. So am I technically right?
Well,
Because
no,
I didn't say belts would be
you didn't say vacant, did you? You just didn't answer.
No. Yeah. I just said no, not even trying.
I put Fire and Dawn. But were they the last NXT Tag Team Champions? Or am I wrong about that, Monty?
Well, technically, would Ronda and Shayna be the last? But you're right, I guess, because you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, because they merged the belts that way, right?
They merged it that night. So technically, Ronda and Shayna could be the last, but hey, I'm not going to. If you want to give yourself a point for it, I'm not going to fight you.
Well,
wait, but would that give me a point as well then?
I kind of agree with
that. But would that give me a point as well then?
Did you say Alba Fire and?
Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm getting them confused. I thought they were Toxic Attraction. Never mind. I'm forgetting the names now. I'm forgetting the names.
No, so.
And so again, I don't watch NXT like that often. So forgive me. I'm just trying to pick
try. So there you go.
So, is that a point then, or is that, or not?
Yeah. Do anybody have a problem with him getting a point for that? For saying?
No, I think it's fair.
Because they really were the last.
They were the last. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much. I tell you, and a point finally, but I got the last one wrong because my next North American champion is Tony D. Yo, Tony D. He's holding gold, though, I suppose. Monty, what about you?
Well, one reason why I didn't care about you getting the points because you're not going anywhere from me, buddy. I predicted Dragon Lee. Come
wonder
on,
you've
baby.
been. Yeah, bud. You can have a point.
Yeah, get the point.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got that magically right, but I unfortunately I don't want to thank Wesley for having a catastrophic injury, but
It always helps.
I
Every
tip my
little
cap.
helps.
Yeah, every little thing helps.
Jaxie, what about you?
Oh my god, I sucked. I chose JD McDonough, who's been like, kind of like bitch boy to like the longest reigning this year uh champion, that was Dominic. So yeah, that sucked.
And Gina?
I had is it Joe Coffey or Kofi?
Yeah, Joe
Who's
Coffey,
that?
yeah.
I don't
From
even know who
Dallas.
that is.
from
I
from
really
Gallus.
don't.
He's a small one from Gallus.
Okay, I'm trying to picture him, but I can't. I'll Google him later.
So that is our NXT picks. So it means Monty and I both got a point. So the scores at the moment, Jaxie is on 18. I'm on 25, the same as Monty. 2 points behind Gina. And finally, I got an email yesterday. I say finally, on NXT. We've still got loads of show left. I got an email that says, Dear James, we want to notify you that you will be able to watch NXT weekly programming live on the WWE Network exclusively in your area, beginning at 1 a.m. Even I got work the next day. And it says that, don't worry, your subscription will include NXT weekly programming as well as premium live events like the Royal Rumble. Because now NXT actually hasn't got a place to be shown in the UK. TNT Sports has dropped it, so now it's exclusive on the network. So it's really weird. I've kind of gone full circle to where it started on the network, went off like BT, TNT, and now back on the network again. So interesting times ahead for that. But, I mean, that doesn't affect you at all, Monty, does it? But can you watch NXT on there now, or will it only be I? Because surely like the TV deal or something. I don't know. I'm not.
Well, on the cock, it will be there, but it will be a delay. It'll be there like a couple days later. So, yeah, the cock will have it a couple days late.
So that's what we've got. We'll see what happens with NXT. Of course, we've got New Year's Evil. We've got an next NXT update. And I know a lot of people say, when are you going to do your Impact shows? I've not done it yet, but I'm planning to. Trust me. It will be a different company name by the time I do review it. But again, who's counting? You know, we've only got a year to catch up on. That's nothing compared to like New Japan Strong. So we talked about it with TNA as well. Interesting times. Jaxie, just asked you, is there anything Impact can do to kind of, or TNA even, to get you on board? What could they do in 2024 that you'd be like, oh, that's interesting? Is there anything?
I mean, do you know what? Again, I really don't want Impact to kind of take offense to this, because with this answer is no offense to them, but nothing, because I really don't have, I hardly have the time to catch up with, New Japan and NXT, and those are two that I'm even more interested in and probably would choose to try and add to my list of watch weekly, but I just don't have the time. 2024, I really don't know, again, if I could pick up watching, sacrificing any more hours other than the ones that I already give to watch wrestling. I try to stay as up to date in terms of the news when it comes from them, but right now at this point I'm just too busy to consider picking up another show.
Yeah, you hear that, TNA? She's just too busy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gina, I'll ask you a question then. If Ricky Starks joined TNA, would you watch that and maybe even watch it over AEW?
No, but I would find time to watch him on that.
So you'd have another 2-hour show
Wherever
a
he goes,
week.
I go. Yeah, wherever he goes, I go.
Fair enough. You know, like I said, it would be interesting time to see what happens with TNA. And, of course, I've enjoyed Impact, so we'll see what happens with that. But we have got some points. And, again, we're going in. Your guy's going in blind with this. So, apologies. I am the expert when it comes to Impact, all right? So we'll do Impact World Champion. And Jaxie, you can start us off. Who was your Impact World Champion?
Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards. Yeah, that's fine. That is
Thank
a
goodness, that's
wrestler. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
not right,
remember,
but-
I just kind of Googled the roster and just picked from that with Impact last year. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be way off.
To be fair, I think you got 3 out of 6 last year, so I'm not losing any sleep. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think with Impact last year, like every champion of every company.
I'm not even insulted by that.
So Monty, who was your Impact World Champion?
I'll answer this with a question. Does Jonathan Gresham still work there?
Yeah, no, he works there.
Okay, I haven't seen. You know how it is with Impact. You know, you see a guy one week and then you don't see him again.
Who's that? Is that the short
short guy? Yeah, he's strong.
the short
used
guy.
to have the He used to have the
Looked like
octopus
he was like a
mask. I don't
heavyweight.
know, squid mask or whatever that is he used to wear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's married to Jordan Grace.
Grace, yeah. So they're both.
Yeah.
huge.
Okay, I know who you're on about. Yeah. Is he still in Impact?
He's there.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is he champion?
So, no, he's
No.
not. He's not champion. So I should say this as well. Gina, who are you going for?
Juice Robinson.
You're joking.
Shows how much I watch it.
You thought that Juice was going to leave New Japan and then go to Impact? I would have thought even if he didn't go to AEW, he would have stood more of a chance at going to WWE.
Don't judge me, okay? Don't know why I put him.
Well, no, that's definitely a choice. What about women's then, Gina? Who have you gone for? Charlotte Flair?
Champion. Who's the champion? Who was right?
No, it wasn't. They're not a champion.
No, but who is the Impact World Champion?
Alex Shelley. Sorry. I'm sure I should have said. Alex Shelley is the Impact World Champion right now.
I don't know why I asked, because it's not like I'm going to know who that
Who
is.
is that? I don't know who that is. Yeah, I'll have to Google.
One half of
Oh my
Motor
god, he's a
City
legend.
does.
He's a legend.
Yeah, like
He's
yeah.
awesome. He's, I wouldn't have predicted him as world champion at this stage of his career, but hey, he's good. Is he heel? He's heel, right?
Respect him, then.
Oh,
Or is he
congrats to
in
him.
between? I don't know
Well
how.
done.
More of a
Alex.
tweener at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
like,
tweener, right? Yeah.
He's facing Moose at Hard to Kill. Not a moose, a
Yeah.
wrestler called Moose.
That's the black guy, right?
before-
That's a black guy.
There you go.
I
the black
I
guy.
don't see colour, so he's just a strong wrestler to me.
Oh no, that's the black guy. No.
Moving on, women's champion in Impact then. Gina, who are you going for?
Who?
Women's?
Wait, no, who are you asking out of us lot?
You.
I had Deonna Purrazzo.
Okay.
That's fine. I had Purrazzo as well. That's fine. Jaxie?
For the women, is this a knockouts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I had Tasha Steelz.
That's not a bad choice.
Does she wrestle for Impact still?
Yeah, she's still there.
Yes, the
Yeah.
badass Barika is still there. Monty, what about you?
The thing is, I know who the champion is, and I doubt either of us would have predicted who it was. Mine is such a prisoner of the moment at the time because I had Masha, is it Masha or Masha Slamovich?
Masha
Either way it goes.
Slamovich. Yeah,
Masha Slamovich. So I had her, and at the time she was feuding with Jordan, I believe, who was the champion. I
Wait,
think.
why do I know that name? Why do I know that name, Masha Slamovich?
I don't know. She's a Slamovich.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I
We'll
always
have to
say.
move on. We can't.
Oh no, wait. Okay, no. She was at that Eve women's wrestling event I went to recently.
Oh, okay.
And,
Awesome.
that's why I'm so sorry. I just
Wow.
I recognized it so much. I just had a quick look, but
Now,
yeah,
she
she
is
was
a champion,
yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
tag champion, right? So
Yes.
But she was actually
That
really
don't
cool
count.
to watch. Obviously, we weren't allowed to take pictures of the event, so I couldn't take pictures or videos of her wrestling. But she was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
So, no points. X
Nope.
Division next.
No point.
X Division. Monty, who's your X Division champion?
Oh man. Yeah. I was hopeful. Speedball Mike Bailey, I think, was my X Division champ.
Not a bad shout. Jaxie, what about you? X Division.
I don't know who this guy is, but Jason Hotch.
No, he does still wrestle in Impact, so well done for that.
Okay,
but
well, I
he's
was
not the
wrong
champ.
now. Oh, okay.
He's not the champion. Gina, what about you?
I had Aidan Prince.
Right. It's not him. The X Division champion at this moment in time is Chris Sabin. And we all know who he is. So I'm not going to explain.
Oh, who's the women's champ? Let them know. We should. I thought you should.
Sorry,
know.
say women's.
champ?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
of course, Trinity, as we all know her.
There we go. Yeah.
Yep, and well deserved too. Represent, girl.
All right, tag teams for Impact. Gina, start us off. Who's your tag team?
I had Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
And you'll never guess who the Impact tag team champions are.
Don't tell me it's those two.
It's Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Oh my gosh! Yes, guys! That's actually so awesome. I can't believe I've guessed that.
How cool does it? When you get one right, at least one, you'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm a genius." So, Jaxie, what about you?
James, I'm a genius. I got Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Yeah, see, another point.
Hell yes.
Good
Yes,
job.
I'm very smug about that one. Monty, remind me, they actually were in wrestling in New Japan, right?
Yeah. Best
Yeah,
of
'cause
Super
of that.
Junior. Yeah, tag league. Yeah.
Yeah, they were in the tag league. I watched a lot of them in that, and then I did read up that they were on the roster. So I think I made my choice based on what I'd seen from their performance from New Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
So Monty, who have you gone for as
Yeah.
tag team champions?
I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo. Hold up. Another question. Is Matt still there? Did Matt Cardona even stay the entire year?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So I put the major players. I got screwed over because I think again they were challenging for the tag titles.
Who's part of the major players?
So-
You said Matt Cardona. Who's his
So
partner?
basically, you remember Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins? Those guys, but they're of their names they're using now. So Matt Cardona and Myers. Is it Brian Myers?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Brian
No,
Myers.
wait,
Right?
Yeah, it's Brian Myers, yeah.
I'm confused. Who?
So Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. Do you remember?
Yeah,
the name
I know Zack
Those-
Ryder. He's the
those
one that
same
was
two
like
men.
John Cena's best friend.
So you only know Zack Ryder. Kurt Hawkins was that bad. He was.
Wait,
He was.
who's
He
Kurt
did lose a lot.
Hawkins?
They beat the
There you go.
Revival at WrestleMania for tag team
For the
titles.
tag
Come
championship
on.
many moons ago.
I don't
my
remember
goodness.
this guy that you're on about.
He had a massive losing streak. He used to wear blue and orange. I don't know.
It's
I
like
don't know how to
charades.
help you remember.
We're playing
I don't know
Christmas
how to-
charades.
I don't know how to help you remember.
No,
Hey,
I'm
one of
really
the
they're
sorry.
not
I have
saying-
no idea.
One of the old edgeheads.
Yeah, one of the edgeheads. She won't
Well,
remember that
anyway.
either.
No.
So tag team, it wasn't Cardona. It wasn't Myers.
Move on, please.
I have said Bay and Ace as well. So
There we go.
all three of us got a point there, apart from Monty. And digital media, I've gone Brian Myers. I'm just glad I don't have to explain who it is now. Monty, what about you?
I said Joe Hendry would still be. He was making me laugh. So I don't know. Is he still the champ? I don't know.
He is
But I said
not
Hendry.
the champion. You will not believe who the champion is.
That sucks.
Jaxie, what about you?
I went with someone called Kenny King.
No, Kenny King still wrestles there, so that's good.
Okay.
Oh man.
But you thought the champ now?
No, well, I was about to say Gina.
We're holding off. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold. Gina, who's your pick?
I put Jason Hodge.
Again? Someone else?
No, you're getting confused. You're getting confused because me, Jaxie, said that Jason Hodge was X Division champion.
Right.
No, we're just laughing at
Jason
him
Hodge
being mentioned twice. Yeah, we're just laughing at him being mentioned twice. It's not.
I have no idea.
We both just probably went down the roster on at the time and just saw his name.
Right. So anyway, the champion is Monty. Do you know who the champion is? Because it is unbelievable in 2023. It is.
Just get over. Just let it. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
It's Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have thought about him and his. He still has that still has that man bun, the struggle man bun that he had.
Yep.
He's still wrestling.
Yep.
Yep. Somehow, some way, Tommy Dreamer is still on TV. Wow, Impact champions are pretty old, aren't they? Except the tag, and not including Trinity, of course.
So it means the scores after Impact. Oh no, we still got Bound for Glory main event. So Bound for Glory main event. This is going to be hard work. So, Gina, you've gone for Jason Hodge versus who?
I didn't. I went for Juice Robinson versus Jonathan Gresham.
That's fine. It wasn't that. Jaxie, what about you?
I went with Eddie Edwards versus Josh Alexander.
Oh, well, one of them was in the main event.
Oh, cool. Do I get
Monty?
half a point for that?
No, we don't do halves. Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck you, James.
So I also put one half. I put Josh Alexander in there, but obviously I put Gresham in there also. So yeah.
Well, I put
Not
Josh
right,
Alexander.
because I know.
Yeah, I put Alexander versus Macklin, but it was Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley.
Shelley, right? Yeah.
So rather than dishing out half points, we'll just say no. So at this point in time, Jaxie, you're on 19. Monty, you're on 25. I'm now on 26. And Gina's still in the lead with 28. Yeah, we'll move on to New Japan, and we're going to have a full review next month. A lot has gone down Monty, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the G1 was the last time that we checked.
We talked, right? Yeah.
Of course, we've got Wrestle Kingdom coming up. And Ren Narita, one of the most shocking things to happen in recent weeks, has joined the House of Torture. So now Ren is no longer a good guy. I mean, what's all that about, Monty? Like, come on. I like that.
He hates Shota Umino, man. The way he did it too was just torture. Oh man, the tag match and how he did it. You would not assume Ren Narita would be that type of way, but the House of Torture brings out the worst in people, man. It's kind of similar to the shock when Uncle Kanemaru joined the House of Torture. It's just again, I don't know what the allure is that Evil has, but he brings out the worst in people, and I think really though the crux of this is the hatred that Ren Narita gained for Shota Umino. They were teaming together. Shota Umino when they lost, would be usually the one taking the pin. So he just kind of abandoned him and joined House of Torture. And it was, it was done. It was heartbreaking, to say the least. Let's say it that way.
Without doubt. And like I said, we're going to catch up with all good stuff, New Japan. There was a strange news story. Probably not as much as for you as for me. But Hiroshi Tanahashi is the new New Japan president.
President Ace.
It's something like John Cena taking over. Can we imagine an ex-wrestler taking over from like Vince McMahon? I don't think it ever worked.
Oh, yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, who would have thought a wrestler, who we watched growing up would be calling the shots? Who would have thought? Yeah, man. You're 100% right. It was definitely shocking. I wasn't expecting it, especially because I think, honestly, since like 2020, they went through 3 presidents. It was the guy who wasn't so friendly with AEW. Then it was the last president who was very friendly with AEW. And then now we have Tanahashi, who's wrestling and now being the president. And a lot of people thought, if you thought he was going to stop wrestling to do this, you're wrong. But he has a law degree that I'd never heard brought up until now. Never even knew he finished school, but of course he did, because that's the ace. He's good at it. He's the king of the universe, as they used to say. So why not put the ace in control? If there's anyone who done more for New Japan, like I said, he was almost single-handedly the lifeline of New Japan for many, many years. So it's very, very, like just one of those things. It's a storybook type of deal for him to be in that position.
Is it more of a publicity stunt, or is he actually going to have stuff to do? Is he just a figurehead, or literally will he be like?
We'll see.
Events and all that stuff,
that's something that we're going to have to see, because the president is not. I mean, let's just get this out the way. In Japan, like the wrestler being the guy is not unprecedented. Like again, like I said, with Antonio Inoki, he was the wrestler, the world champion, and the booker for most of his career. Same thing with like Muda's influence over Noah. The wrestler being someone who calls the shots and make deals is not uncommon. But you're 100% right. Do I believe he's going to be doing desk paperwork or whatever? I don't know. I probably doubt that. But like you said, even if he is just in a figurehead position, what better person for that if you're going to do that, if you're going to do it, if you're coming from the perspective of just wrestling and who, as wrestlers. And one of the first things he did was allow Shibata to sign with AEW. So, AEW fans should at least thank him for that already.
That's crazy, man. Like, and he still wants to be champion. Like what I've heard.
Yes.
He still wants.
He still wants to win
if
one
he's in
last
the Wrestle
World
Kingdom
Championship
main event next year, it's going to be a bit suspicious. I'm not going to.
Tanahashi wins the G1 at 44 years old. I mean, you're wondering why. Now Gato is still supposed to be booking, so that doesn't change. But I mean, Tana is his boss now, so think about it that way.
Yeah, boss, which way do you want me to go? Do you know what? Let me go undefeated. But of course, with New Japan, the biggest show of the year, January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom. And this year, again, feels as big as it ever has been. I don't know about you, Monty, but watching these past few years, they just seem to get bigger and bigger. I know not from maybe like heyday, but especially since like COVID and stuff like that. So the question is, though, more for Jackson Jr. as well. Are you happy to do Wrestle Kingdom predictions now at all? Or should we leave it for a bit? Should we give you a couple of days before January 4th?
I was not prepared to give predictions on that. So can we do that another time? Yeah.
There we go. That's fine. That's what I thought I asked. Because, again, there was a lot of stuff to go on. So we'll do it in a couple of days. And when we do Wrestle Kingdom review, we'll, of course, do predictions. But the card, very, very interesting. Of course, main event, Sanada versus Tetsuya Naito. And, again, I want Naito to win the World Heavyweight title. I know Monty wants it more, but still. We've got Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson. We've got Will Ospreay versus John Moxley versus David Finlay. Of course, we've got Hiroki Goto Yoshihashi versus Hikuleo and El Phantasmo. That's for the tag team titles. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi. Shingo versus Tama Tonga. Hiromu Takahashi versus El Desperado. Clark Connors and Drill Maloney versus TJP and Francisco Akira. And Yuri Uemura versus Yota Tsuji. That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
if the match card is just kind of like literally just like that, and you know it all, I'm kind of happy to just quickly run through it, and I'll just make a prediction now if you want. If that's what you meant,
I don't want to. No, but I don't want to put pressure. Like again,
Yeah,
I
but
know we've got a lot
if we're not, I'm not sure if we're gonna get a chance. Are we gonna get a chance to do a pod before this pay-per-view event?
Oh no, but we can always send it to each other. You know, we speak in group.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No worries then.
So it's not an issue. But again, Monty, with Wrestle Kingdom, how's it compared to previous years and any matches that you've got your eye on?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think it's gonna be obviously. I don't even want to talk about Okada and Danielson. Even the Moxley triple threat match has become the Moxley Ospreay Finlay match. It has become a little bit more interesting with the changes to the belt, and even some of the comments that Ospreay has made recently about still wanting to show people that he's not completely done in New Japan. But again, I think maybe he's just doing a little, damage control to kind of build some hype. So, because again, I don't know, but that match, those two matches are obviously exciting. Then you got the main event with Naito and Sonata. The years and years of history there, going all the way back to when they were both brought in for a tryout. One guy was naturally athletic and was boisterous, and that was Naito. And then you got one guy who was still in high school, to be fair to him, but he was quiet, not as natural, and Sonata did not make the cut at that tryout. Naito did, and ever since that moment on, they've kind of been, even when they were in a faction, they were competing with each other, if you know what I mean, even though they were supposed to be on the same side. So to kind of look at it now that they're finally on opposite side with both of them, Sonata wanted to solidify himself as a champion. Naito wanting to finally complete his biggest goal in New Japan, which was winning the main event in the Tokyo Dome and doing the famous Los Ingobernables. I can't even say it anymore now. The LIJ roll call. There you go. Good job, James. Los Ingobernables. Hey, man. You didn't even try it. If you remember, you wouldn't even try it. And now, here we go. But yeah, the famous LIJ roll call that he has always wanted to do in Tokyo Dome. So I think that's obviously my most anticipated. But don't sleep on it. Like we talked about earlier, the tag team of the year for us was Bishamon, and I think their tag league final was awesome. But ELP and Hikuleo the GOD versus Bishamon will probably be one of those matches that could surprise everyone and be special. That's not one of the main event matches that we think of. And obviously, like you mentioned, Tsuji, Uemura, I can't wait to see what they do to each other. We know Tsuji potential to be one of the best. And then, like you said, with Uemura's time and impact and just some of the stuff he's done so far, now being part of Sonata's just 4 guys, it's back to 4 now. I think it's still 4. Yeah, I think it's back to 4. No, it's back to 5 because Uemura replaced Kanemaru, right? So yeah, my fault. It's not 4, but they only seem to be 4 because Taka is never around anymore. That's what it is. Taka disappeared again as he tends to do. But
groups are the hardest thing in Japan. It took me.
It gets confusing. It gets confusing. And then when you have movement, when you have like people moving around, it's like, oh, so you take a month off and then this guy's with this faction now, and then you're like, oh my goodness, what happened? So anyway, but yeah. So when you have matches like that on the card, I'm excited to see what happens. And even the multi-man match, like we mentioned, with Shota Umino teaming up with the Noah guys, teaming up with Kaito versus the House of Torture with Ren Narita. That has an element now with the turn. So, yeah, I think it'll be a really, really good card. And how does it stack up to years past? I think with some of the AEW talent's involvement, it's right up there with a lot of their most recent cards. And I can't wait to see. I don't know if it's going to have that feeling that Wrestle Kingdom last year had of restoring the feeling of how great New Japan is. But I do think it'll be one of the biggest shows of the year, like always. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think Tanahashi as well, going back to the earlier thing, has said that one of his goals is to have Wrestle Kingdom sell out again. And I think maybe even next year might be on a Saturday. So to have that, there is definitely a goal.
It'll be awesome.
But
And he's
Let's
fighting
talk-
Zach, so that's another match too.
Yes.
ZSJ and Tanahashi.
Come on, Zaki boy. Anyway, so we're going to do the champions in New Japan. So, Monty, you can help us out here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I
the
try.
first IWGP World Champion. So, Gina, who was your World Champion in New Japan?
I had Okada down.
Jaxie?
I too had my man Okada.
I also had Okada. Monty?
Yeah, we're all wrong. I had Okada being the one to be the champion at this point. And he is a champion, but not the champion.
Right, US champion. Jaxie, who was your US champ?
I went Tetsuya Naito.
Ooh, that's not a bad shout. Gina?
Which champ?
US.
I had Naito.
I went Moxley. Monty, what's yours and what's the answer?
So the current answer is no one, right? Like, who would even be the champion? I guess technically Will Ospreay is still the champion. But I'm just saying Finley destroyed the belt. David Finley literally came out and smashed the belt. So, it doesn't really exist right now. Yeah, Finley destroyed it, literally. But
So who was the champion?
Ospreay would be the champion if we were doing that. Ospreay would be the champion. He won, he kept it from his match with Kenny. And I put down something that now I'm like, what was I thinking? But, I really was hoping to see more of him in Japan. But it was Tom Lawler was my pick. And we didn't get as much of him over there.
Is Tom Lawler left New Japan?
I think he's still with the company, but he hasn't like wrestled in Japan. Like he wasn't included in the G1, which was disappointing. So stuff like that's what I really mean. Like, wasn't around as much as I was hoping.
Right.
So then we've got the New Japan Strong title. I've gone Ren Narita. Jaxie, who you gone for?
The Strong title.
Strong.
I went Kenta.
Kenta. Gina?
I went Hikuleo.
And Monty, who do you go for? What's the answer?
I was really hopeful for some reason for the DKC. He did not win it, obviously. And Eddie Kingston is technically the champion, even though that's kind of that's through in there with the classic. So I guess Eddie Kingston would have been like the right answer.
No,
DKP. Who's that?
The DKC. He's a younger, strong guy who he hasn't been around much either. So
right.
all of my strong guys disappeared when they took Strong away.
So never open weight title then. Gina, why don't you start us off?
Wait, which one?
Never open weight.
Sorry, I'm looking down my list. Oh, I had Sanada.
Jaxie?
Aaron Hanare.
Hanare's going to have a big 2024. I went Hikuleo. Monty?
Yeah, I don't think I put anyone. So there you go. Didn't even try to get.
Who is
but
it?
The current champion, I think, is Shingo, right?
Yeah, I think it is Shingo.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Shingo.
So, tag team. I went Bisherman. Jaxie, who did you go for?
Is this the IWGP ones tag team or the tag junior?
Tag, just tag, yeah.
United Empire.
Gina?
I had Aussie Open.
And Monty?
Same here. I had Ozzy Open, which is not correct. You're right, James. It's Beast Mode.
Yeah, boy.
Beast Mode.
Right, so Tag Junior next. I did go United Empire. Gina, what about you for Tag Junior?
I had Leo Rush and Yo.
Jaxie?
I had the same.
And Monty?
Left it blank. Bullet Club, Drillin' Maloney, and Clark Connors are actually the junior heavyweight tag champions. So there you go, the two Bullet Club War Dogs.
Well, that's not very good. I know I'm wrong with junior heavy because I've gone Kushida. Gina, what about you?
I had Master Wato.
Jaxie?
I had Shota Umino.
Monty?
Yeah, I don't feel like a deity because I just for some reason I didn't answer that either. But I definitely would have guessed Hiromu. But yeah, Hiromu Takahashi.
I mean, how did you get away with not answering this? Like, I feel like you definitely lagged out. Right.
Turning it in blank.
You're not allowed to do that this year.
Turn it in blank, guys.
Yeah. Damn you, Monty, not answering.
Right, I'm not even. You're mad at me for not getting anything.
I'm not. I'm all right.
Yeah, you copped out. Right. You copped out. You're the New Japan expert. You copped out.
No, I didn't cop out. I wrote at the bottom of the answers that I'm sure I'm not answering everything because what happened was the turn in date was literally 3 hours before I was doing it. So I was like, oh, well,
you're like pass.
Screw
it.
Come back to it. It's a bit like the awards. So anyway, so we'll move on to women's then. And Gina, who was your women's champion?
I feel like a genius.
My women's champion?
Yeah.
I don't think I put one.
How do you do that?
Oh, see? Come on
How
now.
can you do that?
I get a hard time for it.
Yeah, I didn't put one.
Good
I
job.
didn't have one on my list. Sorry. That's your fault, James, because you're the one who would have sent me the list of titles. So you clearly
to be fair, I don't have it written down either, so I didn't have one either.
Whoa.
Mm-mm.
Shame on you.
Hey, no, shame on James, because James clearly didn't write that down.
It says women's on there, doesn't it? You meant to put next to women's.
No.
It says women's.
Monty, who have you gone for?
I put Mayu Iwatani.
I should tell you mine. I went Kari, who's not even the same promotion anymore. She's in WWE now. So who is the champion?
Mayu Iwatani. The icon. Yay.
Well done.
Got something. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just through saying in anger. That's how angry I am. So, G1 Climax winner then. Jaxie, who's gone for? Have you got that written there, G1 Climax?
I went Will Ospreay.
Who's right there?
Yeah, I had Will Ospreay as well.
Yeah, I went Will Ospreay. Monty, what about you?
I was drinking the British Kool-Aid with you guys. I went with Zack Sabre Jr. But funny how things change, because when the actual G1 happened, I was rooting against him, using the same block as Naito. Awesome.
So we move on to Tag League. Who won the Tag League? I said Cobb and Khan. Gina, what about you?
Yeah.
Wait there. I don't think I have one.
I don't have that either.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We don't want to hear excuses.
You sent out the wrong list, James.
Bollocks. It's on there.
That's your
fault. It's your
It's all
fault
on
that
you.
it's me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is unbelievable. So no answers for those two then. I went Cobb and Khan. Monty, who'd you go for? What's the answer?
Yeah, I somehow I didn't answer it either. I'm sure I just ran out of time, though, because I'm sure it was there. I just ran out of time. But yeah, doesn't matter. The winners obviously are Bishamon. So, and I probably would have picked Aussie Open and been wrong anyway.
Junior Tag League. Gina, please tell me you got Junior Tag League.
I mean, didn't I answer this earlier?
I mean, no, I don't have. No, I don't have any League Ones.
Tag written, and it's Leo and Leo Rush, which I answered earlier.
I'll put Leo anyway. Monty puts out with misery.
So let's see. Where would they? I don't even have the Junior Tag League champions. What? Why is that? Why are they trying to show me?
I genuinely think that James did not send us like this full extensive list, so he just wanted all these points for himself.
So
yeah, because I've picked up so many. Yeah, in the past couple.
Yeah, but you wanted the opportunity to be able to try and like win these extra points without us actually making a guess.
You were doing last year, you know.
No, this is the same shit you're pulling. Oh, I forgot to put them on yours.
Has anybody got a Wrestle Kingdom main event? Has anybody got Wrestle Kingdom main event there for 18?
I got that.
Anybody?
Yes, I do have that.
Oh, you've got that. Have you?
Yes, I do, James. Clearly, just like everyone else. But Gina, it's not just me that doesn't have this. I got Okada versus Will Ospreay,
and I have the same. And less of the attitude, James. What are you talking to?
Oh
yeah,
it's Queen here. My crown is not going to be crooked because you're yelling at me.
Well, I'll let you know. I didn't answer. So have that.
Yay!
Why didn't you answer?
It wasn't on my paper. It wasn't on my paper. But you're ruining it. Monty, what was?
I put Naito versus. No, I'm just playing. I put Zach
No.
versus Okada. I put Zach versus Okada, and I was wrong.
Right. So it means then. Let me work this out. Oh my God, this is so much fun. I forgot how much fun it is when you're working out the scores as you go. I think Jaxie's still on 18. No, 19.
19. Yeah.
Jaxie's on 19. Gina didn't get anything there, so still on 27. Monty, how many did you get there? Just one.
Just one. So I'm like one, but you got 1, 2, so you're tied with her.
You are on. Working this out, we go. You are 26.
Yeah, 26.
I am. Yeah, man. So at the moment in time, as we stand, Jaxie, you're on 19. A little bit of work to do. Monty, you're on 26. I am on 27, the same as Gina. How's that feel, Gina? Huh? How's that feel?
I was on 28.
Where'd you get 28 from?
I got 28. He's lying.
Oh, you are on 28, right? Yeah. Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa, just working it out. Come on, give me a second. It's tough. Do you know what a mess it is written in front of me?
Right.
Yeah,
the listener,
so I'm not even going to try.
Look, the listener knows exactly what's going on. Knows Jaxie's in last place, right? They definitely know
gotcha.
That's something that's done. 19 points. They know that much. Monty's on 26. I'm on 27. Gina's on 28. So 1 point in it. See? And we still got WWE to do. Whew, I knew it was going to be a long show. Anyway.
Yes.
Let's just stop for a second. Because we need to.
Please.
To look back at 2023. And of course, it's been quite a sad year with, unfortunately, wrestlers passing away. It's never a good thing. But of course, in 2023, we had Bray Wyatt, who again touched the industry like maybe no other man did. Terry Funk passed away at the age of 79. Of course, Jay Briscoe. How shocking was that? Iron Sheik, superstar Billy Graham, Bushwhacker Butch, Droz, Lanny Poffo, Jerry Jarrett, and of course, Mike Manitou Halak as well. It's been a rough year. Jaxie, I know we joke between each other, and it might seem to the listener we hate each other. But one thing we can agree on is that it's always horrible losing a wrestler from our little family, you know?
Definitely. I mean, again, all of this banter between me and you, this is just, we've met in real life. This is like easy banter between friends. So please don't take any of this seriously, because this is just James and I's relationship. It's never, there's never any animosity. And, coming together, in sad times like this is hard, but we do have each other as a wrestling family. And we never take that for granted. So our thoughts have gone out to, all the fans, all the friends and the family of those that have been affected by those passing, and our thoughts are, of course, with those that have passed this year.
Without shadow of a doubt. We'll move on to WWE as we head to the Royal Rumble, and we'll look back on Raw December 4th. Drew McIntyre easily dispatching of Sami Zayn. Sami brought Drew's family into it, with McIntyre rightfully attacking Zayn and injuring him. You shouldn't do that, man. Just don't talk shit about people's families. That's not cool. We're expecting, we see DIY beat Imperium in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Nia Jax beat Shayna Baszler. Don't look, Jaxie. Forget about it. Seth Rollins and Jey Uso with no McIntyre interference, even though people thought he was going to. Seth got the win, and then Drew came out and absolutely wiped the floor with both of them. I mean, Gina, how dominant has McIntyre been on Raw recently? He just, beating everybody up in his path,
Yeah, I mean, he does seem to be in such a bad mood that he's just taking it out on everyone, doesn't he? It's like this bad mood has been growing all year, and like now he's kind of just releasing it all on just everyone. So I agree.
I would love for him to release it on me. That's what we're saying. Just release everything you've got. There you go.
Yeah, Ricky Starks would do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit gay, Gina. Anyway, SmackDown was a tribute to the troops. Sorry, Monty. USA! USA! It's got to do tribute to the troops, 2 Mexicans wrestled for our entertainment. How good is that? With Santos beating Lee to advance to the US title tourney. Cody showed why he's the #1 baby faces. And speaking of all-American faces, Bobby Lashley beat Karrion Kross to advance. And if anybody watched Punk's first promo on Raw, concerned about what would happen, we had no issue, really. He referenced past issues with Kevin Owens, history with Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman, called Roman Reigns out for never being around, and played out which brands he's going to storyline, and even dropped a reference to both AEW's All Out and his physical altercation with Jack Perry at All In. Monty, I'll say this is a Punk that we want. He was on fire at this point.
Yeah, I think the way he did it, the wink, nudge of it. I saw a lot of people talk about the reaction to the line, especially the one referencing Jack Perry. And I just want to tell AEW fans that it is an audience of people who watch WWE who have no clue what AEW is. I know it's hard to believe because you spend all your time on the internet and or on Twitter, and you think everyone knows what AEW is and where he was. I'm not saying that it isn't some people who do, but literally when he just did a show at Madison Square Garden, and they're chanting "You still got it" as if he didn't wrestle earlier this year. Because it is a section of the WWE audience that have no clue about All Elite Wrestling. But man, was it a great promo, much better than the other one. He wasn't rushed. I think he even made a mention of that he's in the middle of the show, so they can't, do it. They can't, cut me for time. So, yeah, it was a great promo. Like you said, that's the version of Punk you want to see. And I just think that I can't wait to see exactly where we're heading with the whole Punk thing in WWE going into next year. And I think that might be the best, that's the biggest chef kiss for WWE at the moment is like we're ending off the year strong. So now I know now the expectations of what we're going to see from Punk or what we're just going to see from them creatively with Punk going into next year. I think it all started with this promo right here because he, like you said, he left warning shots for the entire roster pretty much.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. On Raw, 11th December, this is McIntyre's world and we're just living in it. He's easy to splash Jey Uso. CM Punk picked Raw before he could celebrate too much. Seth Rollins arrived. They stared at each other for a long time without saying a word or changing expressions. Rollins grabbed the mic and told Punk not to call WWE his home after spending 10 years trying to tear it down. He said if Punk's going to be in WWE, he wants him on Raw so he can expose him as a fraud and wrestle circles around him. Punk said he was going to win the Rumble match. I mean, Jackson, what do you think of this? I love this. We spoke about on the awards as well. This was my kind of interaction of the year. Seth really doesn't like him. I don't care what anybody says. You know, wrestling fake, but Seth doesn't like him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Seth has ever been one of those wrestlers that shies away from kind of showing, you know, his dislike for people. As much as I felt like it was very controversial with CM Punk's return, you can't deny that, you know, this is not something that's building up to be quite an interesting feud between the two. I'm quite interested in this match, but I actually am feeling like I'm more Team Seth. In this sense, but I think more in terms of like not because of all the controversy behind CM Punk, but more from like the story point of view, the kayfabe story point of view. I'm behind Seth on this. Like, you know, even when you were here and at your highest and your top, you were, you know, a narcissist, Punk. You know, sort of like looked down on others as well. He never liked him from his persona in that, and I love that like they're bringing this into it because it kind of makes you feel more real. You want to invest more into it, so I'm into it, and I'm eager to see where things go from there.
Yeah, I think we're a shadow of a doubt. We see Bronson and Ivar tearing it up, and then SmackDown December 15th, Roman Reigns returned. The Viper interrupted, issuing words of warning to Reigns, vowing to take everything away from him, just like the Tribal Chief took 18 months away from him. Orton threw down a challenge for a match at a Rumble, which Reigns denied. We had the United States Contenders Tournament come under. Hayes made his SmackDown debut versus Grayson Waller and won. Owens beat Theory. Damage Control wanted all the gold. In the main event, Randy Orton beat Jimmy thanks to LA Knight. Post-match beatdown by Reigns. And we saw AJ Styles return, hitting a phenomenal forearm on the Tribal Chief. And it looked like the babyface would stand tall until Styles rocked LA Knight. This is a little bit confusing, Gina, wasn't it? Like, I mean, I like AJ, but why go after LA Knight for? Don't you like someone with initials in your name?
I mean, I was a little bit confused because, like, in my eyes, it didn't make sense. I thought, like, AJ's beef would more be, like, you know, focused on other people rather than LA Knight. What did LA Knight do? What did he do to you?
Maybe it's too similar to AJ Styles is too similar to LA Knight. He just doesn't like it.
Yeah, maybe he just annoys him with his,
James. You're an Impact guy, James. This is like straight up Lone Wolf AJ again. At least that's what it seemed like. It felt like.
I know. I'm trying to make a joke. You know, we're trying to have comedic tendencies.
Okay. I didn't know. I'm mad at you for being confused, dude. Like, come on. You rave about Impact and you don't notice when WWE pulls from them. That's fine.
Well, thank you for interrupting there. We'll move on to Raw December 18th. Raw Truth beating JD. There's only one proper Judgment member there. I mean, Gina, you can agree that our Truth deserves to be in the Judgment Day, surely.
I think he's well earned his place in the Judgment Day. Honestly, he's so funny. I can't stop laughing whenever he's on screen.
Yeah, it's classic. It works so well at this moment in time. So I just keep doing it. You know,
like how
it's come out. That has come out of nowhere, and it's absolutely brilliant.
It's a bit like we talk about the Sami Zayn with a bloodline. Just doesn't make any sense, but it does in a weird way. So I'm not saying our Truth's going to be honorary Judgment Day, but you never know. Anyway, we move on. Gunther defended his IC title versus Miz. Chelsea and Piper lost the women's tag team titles to Kaden and Katana. That's a damn shame. And Judgment Day beat the Creeds for the tag titles. SmackDown 22nd, the final one of the year. We get AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton starting the show, and we are going to get a triple threat match. And one of these, I mean, Jackson, I don't know about you, but when's the last time we had a good multi-man match for the title? Does Roman Reigns? I know he's had a triple threat match, but I don't remember him like a fatal four-way. Remember like SummerSlam a few years ago, Brock Lesnar, where it was just mental.
Yeah.
We don't get enough of that.
We don't actually, and I think we could do with something like that to actually bring a little bit of excitement back to, you know, what could be a potential title change. At this point, you know, it's very apparent at how part-time Roman is, so that would actually bring a bit of excitement back to, you know, what could be a title change or what could not. Right now, with all these one-on-one feuds that you've got building up through just like go through the bloodline rather than seeing him really like the new opponent building up towards going against Roman, you're always kind of gearing up to go, well, Roman's going to win this. He's got the bloodline. You've seen that. We've seen it like for like almost 2 years now, you know? So changing it up by having like a fatal four-way would actually give us a bit more excitement to think, are they going to lose? Will he lose the belt here? Because he doesn't necessarily need to be pinned, you know?
Yeah. Or just not have a 35-minute Roman Reigns match. You know, have maybe like a fun 15, 20-minute match, you know, rather than...
That too. That could actually be fun as well. It doesn't need to be as much build-up as they give for each Roman match.
Yeah. Well, we see Damage Control battling Shotzi, Michin, Bianca Belair, and Zelina Vega, with Michin pinning Sky. Isla Dawn and Alba return during the match to take out the Kabuki Warriors. Dragon Lee retained his North American title versus Butch. I've never seen the bitter end turn into a destroyer. We get a great Karrion Kross vignette. Never thought I'd say that. Everyone's turned after facing him, and it looks like the Authors of Pain will be back. It has been a while. In US semi-final action, Owens beat Mello. Then in the shock, Santos beat Bobby, thanks to Humberto and his guardian Angel. And finally, AJ wants to be a lone wolf. See, Monty was in there. But anyway, Monty, Mello, US tournament, Bobby losing, and the Authors of Pain returning. SmackDown doesn't usually offer that much at the end of the year.
Right, you know, especially you know, with just like you said, starting off with the Christmas themed events and all that, you just kind of expect it to be a show to just advance things, but it did a good job, like you said, of just setting things up and being pretty compelling television. You know, especially with the U.S. title, I thought Melo and Owens was really good. I thought it was a great measuring stick type of deal to just show you that Melo is not that far off from a guy like Kevin Owens. And then even with the Bobby Lashley thing, it's funny how it feels like when that thing started off with Bobby and the Profits, I thought they were gonna go heel and be monsters, but he feel like you know, he's just as popular as ever right now. But you know, cool to see Humberto and you know, Angel. You know, again, I kind of figured that once Del Toro and Joaquin did not join Santos, I was like, yeah, no, he's probably going to have to get Humberto and Angel. So it's cool to see them back on the main roster and possibly doing, you know, a different thing with Santos. I can't wait to see the potential there. So I'm cool with the final being Kevin and Santos. And like you said, Authors of Pain, it's been so long, you know, I'm glad they gave up their promoter gig. And maybe they'll give Killer Cross or Karrion Kross, finally they'll give him something going into 2024 to make him just remote. He don't even have to be anywhere. He probably won't ever be the aura that he felt like in that initial NXT run, but if he could just feel like a threat, you know, and maybe with those two big guys behind him, you know, I don't know if Paul Ellering will be back also, but you never know. Like if they you know, a nice little faction that can make Karrion the focus is probably what he needs to finally be taken seriously as a legitimate threat. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And like you guys mentioned earlier, with Roman actually finally having a title picture, or seemingly having a title picture, I think SmackDown's in a good place so far going into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think WWE is, you know, where of course we got Raw doing day one,
right,
which is going to have Cody and Nakamura. Of course, you got Rollins as well, champion, Hill Drew. story of Judgment Day and potential cash-in and CM Punk. Then we need to see if there's any threat for Ripley. Then over on SmackDown, you've kind of got Damage Control with a Bayley storyline and, of course, Randy with a Bloodline. So at the moment, there's a lot kind of going on. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, in a year's time even. But let's go back to what we thought it would be a year ago. So let's do WWE predictions. And who knows what we could have here. So we'll start off with WWE Champion. And Jaxie, I think you got near enough every World Champion right last year. So we'll start with you. Who's your WWE Champion? If you have got one.
Oh, this is so sad. I got Sami Zayn.
No. I'm laughing with you. So you went Sami Zayn. Gina?
I went, hopefully, Cody Rhodes.
Cody. I also went Cody Rhodes. Not going to lie. Monty?
Yeah, same here. I put Cody for both world championships.
So you put him as Universal.
Universal, yeah.
Jaxie, who do you go for Universal?
I went Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. And Gina?
Karrion Kross.
I wish you was his
my
agent.
God.
My God.
Wow.
Say that I tried to back him. Okay, I tried.
Well, I went for Universal Champion Roman Reigns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big shocker.
Genius.
No, I was just playing.
I'm a genius.
But yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Anybody else? Anyway, don't want to get into it. Monty, who's your Intercontinental Champion?
Let's see. Let's look. Let's take a look. Oh man. Well, to be fair, if he actually focused on things other than being a bodyguard, this would work. But Solo Sikoa was my Intercontinental champion.
No. I can see that. Gina?
So I actually had Solo Sikoa or Carmelo Hayes written down.
I see you picked two.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
It's fine. Jaxie?
I lost it.
I'm sorry, which title is this for?
This is Intercontinental.
Santos Escobar. To be honest, I should have swapped my Intercontinental and US about because they're both on the opposite shows.
Well, my Intercontinental Champion is Gunther. I'm very happy about that as well.
Wow.
Okay.
Right, so US Champion next. Can I keep the streak going? Gina, who's your US champ?
Oh my gosh, I have Dominic Mysterio.
Do you know what? Not a bad shout. Monty?
Yeah, man, not bad at all. I love mine, but again, brand changes, whatever. And he couldn't beat Gunther. So Chad Gable was my U.S. champion.
Oh, that was close.
So close.
Jaxie?
Sorry, I was on mute the whole time. I
That's
went
all right,
with I went with Solo Sikoa. So obviously I should have swapped him and Santos about, but that would have still been wrong for both.
So my US champion, I did go for Johnny Gargano. So obviously it's not right because we all know.
I was about to say, if you say Logan Paul,
Yeah, no,
I was going to fight you.
No. Well, it's even worse. Women's tag, I've gone for Kai and Gonzalez. I mean, were they a team a year ago? What's that about?
That's random.
Yeah.
Maybe I thought they'd team up again.
I mean, like at the time, were they even both called up onto the main roster at this point? Or
I think Kai was part of Damage Control. I don't know what.
yeah, but was Raquel actually?
Well, no, just because she's Gonzalez, and when she got called up, she was Rodriguez. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, Jack C, who's your women's tag team champions?
I went Ronda, Shayna.
It was close some part of the year. Monty?
Yeah. I did the same thing. So imagine my surprise at was it Money in the Bank?
Gina?
I also went Ronda, Shayna.
Right. Raw tag. I put Still Unified. I don't know if that means anything. And I've gone Street Profits for Raw tag team. Monty, what about you for Raw tag?
I want a point here, but I did not go unified. I wish I was smart enough to say that, but I put Dominic and Damian Priest. So, I got Priest.
Jack C, who'd you go for?
Okay, so I did split up. I thought the tag titles would have been split up at this point, so I did do two separate ones. But with the Raw tag, I did go with the Judgment Day. So, do I get a point for that?
Hang on. Gina, what about you? Who do you go for?
Why not?
Yeah, I've actually done the same. I've got separate answers because I assumed that they were going to split the belt. So I've got Raw and SmackDown champions written down. But I also went Judgment Day for the Raw tag.
Okay, that's right. Who's your SmackDown tag out of interest?
My SmackDown tag was, oh God, the Brawling Brutes. Poor sods. The poor
And Jackson,
sods.
did you go for Judgment Day, SmackDown or Raw?
No, I did Judgment Day for Raw. I did Legado del Fantasma for SmackDown.
Okay. And Monty, what about you? What did you go for SmackDown?
Man, they debuted on the wrong brand, but I went Creed, bro.
That's fine. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you all three a point for the tag team titles, considering it's Judgment Day. So you'll get a point for that.
Thank you.
I went, even though it says Still Unified, I'm not going to argue about a point, but I still went Street Profits.
Yeah.
So I just went from twice, just for the fun of it. It's fine. Right. So, Raw Women's Champion. Jack C, who've you gone for?
Hold on. Oh, I went Rhea.
You gone Rhea?
Yeah.
So Rhea, well done. Gina?
I've also gone Rhea.
Monty?
I wrote Rhea Ripley will be the women's world champion. No, I'm just playing. I put Rhea Ripley. No.
I put Becky Lynch, so that didn't help me there. SmackDown Women's.
Yeah.
She didn't even challenge, man. So
Look,
don't feel bad. I would have
get
expected her to challenge by now too.
Let's see who's got SmackDown one then, shall we?
Right.
Monty, who have you got for SmackDown Women's Champion?
Well, she had it, but wrong Joshi legend. So I went Oscar.
Oscar. Gina?
Oh, I copped out. I went Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Jaxie?
Oh my gosh. Why? I went Raquel.
Raquel. I went for Bailey. So at least in Damage Control, I suppose, would be the thing to say, but still not great.
Same here. Yeah.
Right, so up next, Royal Rumble. Men's Rumble. Monty, who you gone for?
Oh, I went Cody Rhodes.
You went
Nice.
Cody? Yeah.
Nice.
Nice to see. Gina?
I went Sammy.
Sammy. Jaxie?
I too went Sammy.
Sammy. I went Cody. Yay. Women's
Hey.
Royal Rumble. Jaxie starts off.
I went Raquel.
You went Raquel. Gina?
I said Rhea.
Hey. Monty?
What women's month? Which one were we? Raw Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she was final too, but I went with Oscar. Wrong. Final.
I went Rhea Ripley, so I'm happy about that.
Good
I don't
job.
even want to. I've just seen my 3 Mania matches, and I don't know, man. That's just terrible. Right. So anyway, before we get there, men's Money in the Bank. Monty, who've you gone for?
I can't protest this. This is a singular deal, but he's also in Judgment Day. But I went with the wrong guy. I went with Finn instead of Priest. Obviously, I had
Hit
Priest
the
still on the
post.
tag team, so yeah. Damn it.
Jack C, Money in the Bank.
I went Cody.
That's not bad. I think you got it right last year, which was even more annoying. Gina.
I went Karrion Cross.
What is it? Oh, I see. No, I got it. Cross.
You
Won
get
Money
the
in the Bank.
picture now.
Cashed in.
Right.
Was champion by the end of the year. I like it.
That's the storyline that I was going with. So
I went Austin Theory. Don't know why. Just maybe win again. Just for the hell of it. Jaxie, who's your women's Money in the Bank winner?
I went Mia Yim.
I don't know why I'm laughing. My picks.
I don't know why I went with that.
Monty?
Yeah, I get the vision now, but I'm just kind of mad of my thought process. I put Rhea winning Money in the Bank, so you see how she would end up end up champion. But I just picked the wrong thing that she would win. Yeah, exactly.
Gina?
yeah, although I called Rhea's right, I was so off with this. I said Raquel.
Yeah, I said Charlotte. I don't know. Maybe just to spite Jaxie.
Like you need another accomplishment.
I think you just wanted to add Charlotte in there somewhere, just to wind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just had to put it down. Oh my gosh! Right, 3 Mania matches. There is one I'm going to argue with. There's a couple I can't. My first one, I went for Seth versus Cody.
I get it.
Was that previous year?
The year before. Issue, but I understand what you were doing, though. I get it.
At least someone does, Monty. I appreciate that. What about your first Mania match, then?
Yeah, hopefully you guys can transport your brains back to that time of year. Bear with me. But I went with Rhea Ripley versus Beth. I thought that she would make a full, like, one-on-one type of deal. But I don't even know how much longer the Edge stuff. I think the Edge stuff just ended up being Finn and Edge, right? At WrestleMania, right? So, yeah. So, no. But, yeah.
Gina, what about you? One match.
My first match, I put Roman versus Sammy, but obviously I was going off of the back that Sammy won me in the bank. Sorry, Rumble. So yeah, that's where I was going with that one.
I'm nervous about these. Jaxie, what's your first one?
Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to search. I put Roman versus Sammy.
Okay, so that's fine. Next one I put is Ripley versus Belair, which bigger WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah. One day, hopefully.
James, I actually went with the same for my second match. Ripley versus Belair.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, same. Same. Ripley and Belair.
Wow.
That's fine. Monty, what about you?
All I have to say is, damn you, Omos. I went Gunther versus Brock. I wanted that one, man.
So, Gina, what about your last WrestleMania match?
I had Bobby versus Brock.
No, Bobby Brock. Jaxie?
I had Charlotte versus Raquel.
Big year for Raquel, missed that. I get that did not happen.
Your predictions. Like in the predictions, Karrion Kross and Raquel having great
Raquel.
years.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest.
Monty, what about you?
So I feel so. This is probably the proudest prediction I had. I predicted night one's main event, the Usos versus Sammy and Kevin Owens.
Wow.
And remember, he was still in the bloodline. So come on now.
That's pretty cool.
Give me some
That's
love.
pretty cool. Right. My match, and you can tell me to fuck off, but I think I'm pretty close. I put McIntyre versus Gunther. And to be fair, they did face off at WrestleMania.
Yeah, just Sheamus was there. So you can't forget he was there. But yeah,
I'm going to give myself a
There's still
point.
not a point.
Yeah.
No.
Oh
No, I do
Martin
think
one.
I do think he deserves a point because even like we gave a point to Monty who put Dominic and
Dom in there,
Damien.
right? Yeah.
And technically James was right. It's just a third person was added.
This is just someone else was there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good shit.
If we're gonna give Monty a point for that, then I feel like and you guys know I hate giving James points, but if we're gonna do that for Monty, we should do that for James.
I literally did not have that in my bingo card.
Equality.
That is like the end of Scrooge there. That's literally like...
That's your Christmas present for me. You only get my
His heart
defense
swelled
once a year.
5 times the size.
You only get my defense once a year. You got it now. You've had it.
No. I appreciate that. I'm glad it's at the end of the year, so we can start fresh next week. But so we'll move up WrestleMania main event then. We've all got WrestleMania main event. We've all got SummerSlam main event and Survivor Series. So WrestleMania main event, Monty, I'll start with you.
Oh, I let the internet screw me, man. That's all I have to say because I don't even know why I went here, but yeah, I went Roman and The Rock.
Gina, what about you?
I did Roman Sammy.
Roman, Sammy, Jaxie,
I also did Roman Sammy.
and I did Roman Reigns versus The Rock. I don't know. Me and Monty must have heard the story.
What the
That
hell?
was like, The Rock is coming back. It's confirmed.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
SummerSlam main event. Jaxie, why don't you start?
Sorry, I put Cody Rhodes versus Roman.
Yeah, I put Cody versus Roman as well, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Nice.
Gina?
SummerSlam, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I got Cody versus Roman too.
Monty?
Yeah, I have Cody self Roman. I was booking the hell out of that title reign.
Yeah, that's a nice triple threat match.
Yeah.
Survivor Series main event. Gina, what was your Survivor Series main event?
Wait, what was the main event? Remind me of SummerSlam.
Oh, SummerSlam. Sorry, SummerSlam was Jay versus
So
Roman.
Jay and Roman. Yeah.
It was a Jay Roman one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my Survivor Series one was, ironically, as Monty just said, Cody versus Seth versus Roman.
Jackson?
I went Cody versus Seth.
Monty?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't get points. Mine make me sad because I obviously was optimistic about something. Yeah, I was. I went Team Cody Rhodes. I went War Games, Team Cody Rhodes, which technically is true, but I said he would be going against the new Wyatt family, whatever that was at the time. I couldn't put no names on it, but that makes me sad because I obviously was optimistic for Wyatt, for Bray to have a big year. But yeah, so I did go War Games, but you know.
Well, I've just put War Games. I don't know if that's an acceptable answer.
If we're accepting yours, you better accept mine.
I'm saying, I don't know. You have to ask. It would be down to Gina and Jackson.
Yeah. Do you guys accept War Games?
I mean, sorry, what do you mean by that? Like, because of the main event, like, was a War Games event, or like, what?
But
Yeah,
James just
it
said
was
War Games.
in
I
the main
said War
event,
Games. Yeah, he just said War Games would be the main event. I said
Yeah.
War Games, Team Cody Rhodes, but I just fantasy booked the Wyatt family in there. So
I mean, it was technically the main event anyway, so sure, why not? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't have an issue.
There we go.
Right on.
Move on to surprise wrestler return. I put Rusev. No, Rusev works in a way, all right? Because he wasn't happy at some point in AEW.
I get it.
Yeah. Monty,
I'm laughing at mine.
Who's your surprise return then?
The Rock. In his, I don't know. You guys shouldn't count his promo. I would be that guy big, and he did come back. He returned, but no, that ain't what I mean. That ain't how I mean it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when we say wrestling return, we mean like return to
a
the ring
run,
type
an
wrestling.
actual
So
run. Yes, exactly.
yeah.
All right, Jax, who do you go for?
I feel really sad about this one, but I went Big E.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way to bring us down. Gina?
Oh God, I said Bo Dallas.
Well, my guy, one of my favorites of all time. Two of us love you out here, Bo. Obviously, wrestling related. We love you.
Can I actually just say on that, sis, like that isn't a bad answer because I do think that he might have like made a return of some sort, possibly
Yeah, Uncle Howdy, right?
if
I don't know if we're counting
things
it,
hadn't. Yeah, but if obviously the worst thing in the world hadn't happened,
exactly.
you know, I mean, I know for a fact as a sibling that if I lost a sibling, I don't know whether or not I could immediately in the same year be back to TV.
Oh, no
You know,
way.
so yeah,
I mean,
he could have been.
it's hard to guess with that one, isn't it? So, because we all assume it's Bo Dallas, but they've not really confirmed it.
They never confirmed it, yeah. But I think it was, but I don't, yeah.
So, we move to surprise wrestler leaving.
Gina,
who's your surprise wrestler leaving?
I had Nakamura.
Wow. I get it, though.
Yeah, I don't know why I put it. I must have had some thoughts that maybe he might move somewhere like New Japan or something. So
yeah, back to Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monty, what about you?
Come on, man. Come on. I knew something was coming. I don't know how, but I knew it. Riddle was my surprise.
Hey.
Wrestler leaving.
Wow.
Wow. See?
That's
I knew
nice
something was coming. I don't know how.
Jaxie?
Okay, you guys have to let me know if he has or not because I don't know. But my leaver was Robert Roode.
No, well, I think
I
he
don't know.
hasn't left WWE. He's still working as like a road agent.
Yeah,
but I think he had
right.
surgery.
Yeah, he's still an agent. Yeah. He left wrestling, I think.
So is he on the roster? Is he on the roster?
No, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how they do that.
He's not left WWE though. He's still.
He still works
WWE.
there. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
he just no longer wrestles.
Yeah, I mean, sucks that he doesn't wrestle though. Like if he's still with the company.
Yeah, but he's not left. So it's not a surprise leaving. It's a surprise.
No, I never. I'm not claiming it is. I just said it sucks for him. I just said it sucks for him that he's not been used if he's still on their books. Like that sucks. I've not seen him on TV all year.
The one I've gone for, I don't know how much of a surprise it is, but I did go Ziggler. But we didn't think he was going to get released, though, did we?
Right.
Wow.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, that's a really good pick.
Yeah, not too bad. So, I'm going to have to work out the scores. So, I mean, Gina, asked you first. How do you think you did with W predictions?
Oh, I think I did quite poorly. I think I only got like a fair few right. So, yeah, I didn't do well.
Jaxie, what about you?
Yeah, same. Definitely did not do well. I think I got a couple right that were like kind of the obvious, but no standouts for me.
Monty?
I did excellent because I thought I did horrible. And the fact that I got almost 4 or 5 points or something in there, 4 points, something like that. 5, I don't know exactly. I didn't count. But yeah.
Yeah. Just extend it a little longer what your thoughts were, because I'm just still trying to.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, do the math.
Go on.
Do the math. But yeah, coming into it, if you guys remember, I told you guys I had to win the actual live event, premium live event. I had to win those shows because I thought my predictions were terrible, mostly because I knew I left a lot of them blank. But WWE, that was by far my best. Like I supposed to be the New Japan deity, but I couldn't answer some of those. But here I go, doing my best here. So yeah, I'm delighted would be the word, because I didn't think I would get anything.
I think I worked this out at the moment. We've still got Ring of Honor to do, so we're going to do that in a second.
How? My God.
At the moment, Jaxie is on 21 points. Gina is on 31 points. Monty is on 32 points. And I'm on 34 points. That is the standing at the moment.
Yay.
Wow, my track record, I'm so behind. You guys clearly kicked my ass in the WWE region.
To be fair, there is another. I mean, if he's got 6 here with the Ring of Honor stuff, then we've got the 2 leagues to decide. Whoever wins that is going to get 2 points as well. And we've still got AEW champions to do and each AEW main event. So there's still probably 20 points there. So it's even at this moment in time, Jaxie, you can still win. That's all I'm going to say. So let's do Ring of Honor champions then.
I'll try and keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, maybe you turn around to Ring of Honor.
And bonus predictions, right? Still got bonus predictions.
Yep. So we've still got that as well. So Ring of Honor. Who's the Ring of Honor champion? So Monty, who have you gone for Ring of Honor champion?
Yeah, I obviously was not going to subscribe to Honor Club because I didn't answer. Did not answer.
That's fine. Jaxie?
I really wish I just chose to not answer because I'm laughing so hard at my choice. I don't know where this came from. It's so random. But I've put Preston Vance.
That's not bad, I suppose.
No, I get that, but like of all people in Ring of Honor, and I chose Preston Vance.
Maybe you had a strong Rampage match when you were doing the predictions. Who knows?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he was just on a hype because he had just left the Dark Order, and I just thought that they might push him or something. That's the only reason I could think why I chose him.
Exactly. Gina?
I had Swerve.
I went Danny Garcia, which wasn't any good. TV champion. Monty, did you do any Ring of Honor?
No, I did nothing for Ring of Honor. Like this year, I'm going to just throw a name out there so I can at least get a chance at luckily getting them right. But yeah, no, don't even ask me anything about Ring of Honor.
That's fair enough. So we'll move on. TV champion, Jaxie. I don't even know who TV champion is.
Oh my gosh, I actually went Jay Lethal.
Well, that's close. Gina?
This actually sucks. This really sucks. I put Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, I put Wheeler Yuta as well as TV champ. Why didn't we go pure champion?
Exactly. I'm so mad.
Who is the TV champ? I'm trying to think. I don't know who it is.
It might be Cole Fletcher. 90% sure. That is I'm trying to think.
From Aussie Open. The
Aussie Open,
yeah. Oh,
he just won it, right?
Since when?
Actually, he had a
won it with a
promo on Monday. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, last Ring of
okay.
Honor
Mm-hmm.
show, whatever it was, Supercard of Honor, whatever they called it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so pure champion, Jaxie.
I put AR Fox.
Gina.
I had Lee Moriarty.
I went Takeshita. So, you know,
That's not a bad choice.
it's not a bad shout. Thank you very much. The tag team, I've gone Top Flight, which wasn't anything. Jaxie.
I put Bandido and Rouge.
Gina.
This is really sad, guys. I got the Briscoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jinxed them. Got trios title. Gina.
I went Dalton Castle on the boys.
Me too.
I went best friends for some reason.
Uh-huh.
This is really annoying. Women's champion. Who have you gone for women's champion? Because mine's so annoying. Jaxie, who's yours?
I went Serena Deeb.
Gina?
I did the same. I went with Deeb.
I went Tony Storm. How fucking annoying is that?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We might not do Ring of Honor next year because that was that wasn't good. You know, I don't think we might have came close to a couple of them, but the points are still the same at this moment in time. Jack's 21, Gina 31, Monty 32, I'm on 34, and finally AEW with World's End. We start with we had the Continental Classic, and of course, Continental Classic is nothing like you've ever seen in professional wrestling before. So we had the Blue Group, which was Andrade, Bryan Danielson, Brody King, Claudia Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, and Ring of Honor World Champion, New Japan Strong Openweight Champ, Eddie Kingston. Gold Group, Jay Lethal, Jay White, John Moxley, Mark Briscoe, Roosh, and Swerve Strickland. A lot going on in this tournament, as we know. So first, Jaxie, I'll ask you, what are your thoughts on the Continental Classic? Has it worked for you, as we've seen the kind of same block of wrestlers wrestling over the past month or so?
I mean, personally, yes, for me. And that is because, again, even though you've explained it like seeing the same set of wrestlers, but like wrestling sort of through and through, each match has kind of left me like wanting to know who's up against who next, and just seeing sort of the strengths with these wrestlers against certain other wrestlers within the bracket, and then their weaknesses against others where they've like lost and stuff. It's been very up and down for the whole tournament, to be honest. And I found myself rooting for the underdogs, and that like I did not expect myself to root for. I really feel like this has done really excellent character building and in-ring wrestling work for Daniel Garcia facing off against some of these already legends and future legends that have already made a name for themselves in the business. For someone like Daniel Garcia, I think this has done wonders. So from his point of view, I think it's done really well. And I've actually really just enjoyed the content. I've constantly wondered who's going to actually pick up the point, whether or not there's going to be a match that ends, in a draw, those sorts of things, especially with Eddie Kingston putting the two titles on the line to make it a history-making moment of a first ever triple champion within AEW. This is a big deal. So I really enjoyed this. The only criticism I have is, why are we not doing this for the women? Where's the women's continental title? Like, you're not giving us tag titles. You're not giving us continental titles, but like, look at like how much screen time you're giving to good young upcoming members. Even Roosh has been having such a great run within the tournament, and some of his matches have been my favorite. Why are we not doing this for the women? Where's the women's continental title? Like, Tony, get better at this. Like, 2024 needs to be better for the women. I'm starting to get really irritated from the last minute booking of women's matches, like we've seen with this Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. That is literally been booked 24 hours before the pay-per-view for God knows what reason. That could actually be a match on Dynamite or Collision or even Rampage. It's just there, and it's there because you want to give us like that more women. Yes, I'm grateful for that, Tony, but like do better with their booking. Who rightly is actually invested in that match? No one, because it just happened. So do better in the next year, Tony, please.
Well, speaking of Dynamite and all that, look, we'll have a proper catch up on the next show, of course, but we have got predictions to do for this, so we'll just let you know what happened with the Continental Classic, because Eddie Kingston lost the first two in that, but managed to come through at the end, of course, in the end beating Bryan Danielson. Well, first he beat Andrade with Danielson drawing with Claudio, and the other group as well was a triple threat match between Moxley, Swerve, and Jay White, which of course Mox won, leading of course to the two facing off tonight at World's End. So we'll I think we'll do the final. This is the final predictions of 2023. I cannot believe we got there. Before the predictions, and again we spoke off air, and again I don't know if we want to talk about it now, but there's been a lot of rumours today about Chris Jericho. But should we let the rumours and overshadow World's End, or should we just get on with World's End? What does everybody think?
I feel like let's maybe just touch on that at the end, because I don't really want to give too much discussion into it. It already seems that from this news, Jericho is taking a lot of the limelight away from tonight's event. So let's focus on maybe giving our predictions first and talk about those that actually deserve us talking about, and then we'll just kind of give maybe our 2 cents each of us about what we've heard so far. Again, though, this is all speculation that we're all going to be discussing about what's going on with the news with Jericho, so this is just speculation.
Well, so let's do it then. The final predictions of 2023, and it's quite simple. For a league win, anybody can still win the AEW league, as we know, but bonus-wise, it's going to need a perfect score for Gina and I. Gina, are you up for a perfect score? Can you get one?
I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to get it, but I'm going to try.
One thing I'm going to ask. There's a 20-man battle royal for a future TNT title shot on the 0 hour. We don't know who's going to be in it. Can we just skip that and not count it as a proper prediction? Because if we need a perfect score, there's no way we're going to get that. Is that fair, Monty? Because you're the one in the lead.
Oh, bro, trust me. I'm. If you're asking me, I 100% agree. Any chance I've ever had at getting a perfect at AEW was ended in the 0 hour. So I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, again, I also agree with this. I do want to just kind of quickly just make a statement though that I did put a note next to this match and said if there is any form of surprise man turning up in this match, it potentially could be Jack Perry, and then he goes on to win a future TNT match. However, I literally just put that as like a little note. That's not actually like a prediction that I would put down, because again, I agree, I don't really know who's going to be in this.
So let's start with where I know it's going to go right. 0 hour pre-show, FTW champion Hook versus Wheeler Yuta, FTW rules match. I'll start us all off, everybody. I'm going to go Hook. Nice and simple. Down the line. Jaxie, who are you going to go for?
I too have gone Hook.
Monty?
Yeah, same here, especially when you add the stipulation. I think the smart money would be on Hook.
And Gina?
We'll do a full sweep. I've also gone Hook.
Ooh, and Gina, you can start us off with the other pre-show match, Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale.
Do you know what? I first of all went Chris Statlander, but I changed my mind now, and I've gone Willow Nightingale. I just think they should just push her and keep pushing her.
Monty?
Yeah, this was a tougher one. Because you just honestly, I don't necessarily think either girl. You just want a match. You don't want either side to lose, and it's like so it's just tough. I'm going with Chris. It was just I playing it safe, but I wouldn't be mad at all if it went the other way.
Jaxie?
Yeah, so I agree with both statements. I can see this going either way. I do think that this has been like really rushed and put together, but I do see this going to Chris.
It worries me because I've gone Chris now and Gina's gone Willow. So that's like,
Yeah,
does she know something we
yeah.
don't know?
I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
I hate when that.
Yeah, I know. That's made me sweat a little bit.
That's not.
Yeah, but that's
All
also
right.
going to look bad on me if I don't get this.
Yeah, because it's been so bad the past 6 months. Yeah. That's that's why. Anyway, up next.
Someone.
What? We've got Andrade versus Miro next. Jaxie, I'll start with you because this is a match everybody wants. Come on. This should be CJ on the line match. Let's have a match in 2023 about retaining the right to own a woman. That's what we want.
Well, no, I think this would be more like let's do a match of two men wanting the attentions of one woman more than actually trying to take ownership of a woman, because it's 2024 and we don't take ownership of people anymore like that. Anyway, this was a really hard match to call because I feel like both sides have equal amounts of talent and rights within like this storyline to warrant a win here. And given what Andrade's done within the Continental Tournament as well, like it's hard to like see whether or not he would actually take the loss here. But then with Miro, like kind of like this streak that he's on right now, he really can't afford to lose. However, I'm gonna go with Andrade on this one.
Wow, Monty.
Yeah, this whole entire storyline has just been kind of weird to me, but everything that was the Continental Classic to me, a lot just was kind of. I don't know what the difference booking was because the Continental Classic, like you said, was great wrestling, awesome storytelling, and then you get some of these other storylines, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. But I will say that I'm purely picking Miro, in my opinion, based off the my thought process that as great as Andrade has been looking right now, he's still, and that's how talented he is. I think he got 1 foot out of AEW already, and he's still one of the best talent if you watch him do what he do. I'm going with Miro winning.
Gina.
Yeah, this match has been difficult to call because the storyline is just not very clear on like what they're trying to do. Because we all know that like Miro is happily married still with CJ, like back in the scenes, behind the scenes. So it's like, it's not really like they're kind of fighting for her love or romance. Like it's more just a case of like it's confusing because again she kind of said to work with her own husband and he rejected her. So it's like, okay, then what are you mad about when she goes and get herself another client then, Miro? So I don't know. I've been back and forth on who's winning this because I really just don't understand where they're going with the story. But I think ultimately I'm going to go with Andrade, and Miro's just going to blow up even more after this match and just be so
Shit,
angry
we're
that
screwed.
Yeah, I've got Miro. Fuck me. I just thought that was obvious. Like, I don't know. Anyway, up next.
It's a weird story, James. Man, don't feel bad. I don't know, man. Either.
I've forced myself to watch like Dynamite, Rampage, and all that shit, and I still can't get it right sometimes. Anyway, Sting, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho versus Big Bill, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Konsuke Takeshita. I'm gonna go for Sting and the baby faces. Well, I say baby faces. Maybe one of them will be booed. Who knows? Monty.
Yeah, I know Kenny got hurt. and they don't mind making Sammy look like look crazy. I think the smart thing to do here, though, would be for Sammy to. The thing is, this is the part they put them in a weird spot. I was like, oh, well, maybe Sammy could just be playing with Jericho and go back, but like now you make Sammy look. I don't know if you make him like Big Show or what. Like I don't know. I'm gonna go with the original plan. I feel like if Kenny was here, the baby faces are going over, and like you said, it's hard to pick against Sting and Darby. But man, would I like the heels in this situation to win because be a big win. Sting is at the end of the line. I don't necessarily think he needs another one of those big moments. But hey, the AEW has a formula, so I'm gonna go with the babyface, just like you said.
Yeah. Gina, if you've gone for the heels, I'm changing my answer. What are you saying?
No, guys, this was really difficult for me as well because, to be honest, I hate betting against my man. I always want to back him, but it's also such a strong team because Starks and Hobbs have previous relationship of being a tag team. The fact that they're teaming with, Big Bill and Takeshita, who have both had big wins for themselves recently, it's hard to go against the heel team. But ultimately, with Sting and Darby Allin coming back, I say last week, it was this week, wasn't it, on Rampage, Dynamite, sorry. With their return, I can't see them losing, so I have gone the baby faces as well. -1.
Thank you.
Fuck for that, Jaxie.
Yeah, we've got a full sweep here because I don't really see Sting taking a loss here when he's so close to retirement. And as you say, we've had so many returns, including Sammy, who just returned. They're not going to have the Don's family turn on him to then have him lose as well. After kind of saying stuff about his baby and blah blah blah. So I've gone faces.
Up next, if one 8-man tag match wasn't enough, here's another one. Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, Mark Briscoe, Daniel Garcia versus Jay White, Roosh, Jay Lethal, and Brody King. Gina, start us off here. Which way is going?
Okay, so this one again was added so late. So to be honest, it was really hard to kind of think about who's going to win. And ultimately, we know that this match is made up of all of those who were in the Continental Classic. And it's like, to be honest, part of me is like, I can't see the face team losing because they got people like Claudio and Brian and, Mark Briscoe on there. But with the way that things have gone for all those on the heel team, I feel like they actually should get the win over this. I can see Brody still being bitter against Daniel Garcia for getting the win over him because that was a massive win for Daniel Garcia. So I can see him pretty much wanting to punish Daniel Garcia this match. So I've gone heels. I've gone Roosh, Brody King, and Jay Lethal and Jay White.
Fuck it. Jaxie?
I too have actually gone heels. I thought about Brody and Daniel Garcia. I think it was Rampage last night that actually I thought back to when they announced this match earlier today, and just sort of promo about the promo with Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic backstage, and just kind of like thinking to myself, well, this actually might build into something more. We know that House of Black doesn't have a match on the show. We know that they turned up at the end of Brody versus Daniel Garcia. So, would we see some involvement there? So that was my way of thinking about this match, and that's why I've gone with the heels on this one.
Ooh, Monty?
Yeah, again, random. The guy who I don't watch Rampage, so I had none of that context. But I don't consistently get a chance to watch it. But I don't know, man. I just honestly just picked with my heart, honestly, and my heart was just like the babyface side was too stacked. So I went with them, even though I wouldn't be mad. I was like, Daniel Garcia could get pinned here, but I wouldn't want that to happen. And I was like, but Jay Lethal getting pinned or whatever. He's like, go there. So I went with the babyface.
Yeah, I went the faces as well. Shit. Anyway, ABS, AEW TBS. That's how upset I am. It's ABS title now. Julia Hart versus Abaddon. Abaddon?
A bullshit title. A bullshit title.
I am going to go Julia Hart.
ABS.
Bullshit. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go Julia Hart and move on. Jaxie, who are you going for?
I've also gone Julia.
Yeah. Monty?
I love Abaddon, but it's just championship right now. No, I don't necessarily see, especially like we talked about Julia Hart being most improved, being one of the best. So I think we gotta continue to ride that wave right now.
And Gina?
Yeah, I've gone Julia as well. She's only just got the belt, so she's not going to lose it, especially to, I say someone like Abaddon. That's not me cussing Abaddon out, but they've just not built a storyline big enough to make us believe she's going to win this over Julia. So,
to be fair to my predictions, Julia Hart hasn't won the title yet. Chris Statlander is still champion. But I am, like I said, going to go Hart in this one. Up next, the match we wanted like a year ago, Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee. Gina, which way is this going to go? And why have they waited a year? I don't know.
I mean, do you know what's frustrating? I really love both the men in this match, but what's really frustrating is they should have done this last year when the storyline between them was still hot, and then you're bringing it back now quite randomly. You know, you just had Keith Lee do a promo, what was it, last week, and be like, I haven't forgotten, by the way, Swerve. And that's great if you wanted to build it up to this match, but you kind of should have touched on stuff a bit earlier than this, because everyone's like, hang on, didn't we have this already? And they have to cast their minds back to last year and the storyline and be like, oh, yeah, actually, they didn't pay it off. And it's like, okay, so they're paying it off now. Okay. And it's clear that it's just because they wanted someone as big as Swerve on the show, but they just didn't have a proper storyline to chuck him on there at this point. So they're like, yeah, let's just finish off the Keith Lee. And again, don't get me wrong, I love both of the wrestlers in this match, but it's just like, oh, okay, like this is a big enough card already. Like, did this need to be added? So yeah, regardless of that, Swerve's definitely going to win this. So I've gone with him.
Exactly. Stick on the Dynamite. Fair enough. Jaxie, you've gone for?
Swerve.
Monty?
Yeah. I second everything you guys said. Just so random. Very, very frustrating because I think both guys deserve better. But yeah, Swerve's winning. I don't think Keith Lee's a threat at his current stature and where he is, which is crazy to say. But yeah, Swerve is winning.
AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm versus Rio. I'll start off again. Toni Storm, same as the Julia Hart match, just too soon. This is probably when we do monthly pay-per-views, you know, unless the title changing every month. Monty, what about you?
Yeah, and it probably would be, and then you're doing monthly pay-per-views, and you don't really have much angle time for either situation. But yeah, Toni Storm retaining. Riho is going to give a great fight, but I think Tony's definitely retaining.
Gina. Well, unless Gina's gone for Rio, then we will change our picks.
No, I mean, I think Riho is a great opponent to have, and you know, she's a veteran, she's a previous champ, so it's good to see her go against Toni Storm, because I think that would be a big win, you know, for Toni to get over a previous champ and someone as big as Riho. But they've not built it up enough to truly let us believe that like Toni is going to lose it right now when she's literally so hot right now. So I've gone with Toni.
And Jaxie, and I just thought so as well, if there's a little break for the next AEW show, and why don't you have a Continental Classic with the women, and the winner of that gets a title shot? Simple. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they don't do it, Jaxie. Anyway, who you picking?
Exactly. That's a simple storyline right there to involve a lot of women.
Or just give them another belt. they actually deserve another belt. Like, you know, they don't even have tag belts yet. Like, if they're not getting tag belts, give them a continental belt. Like, you could do that, Tony. So,
Don't
we'll
even have to be round robin. It can be like King of the Ring. You know, just one match
mm,
tournament.
yeah,
Something.
yeah, just
Imagine a world where you get one, like more than one women's match on an AW show. You know, just
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. I mean, well, you know, we can only dream, can't we? But yeah, I've gone obviously Tony as well. She's too hot to be losing this right now. And I don't expect her to be losing it in such a short feud with Riho. That's not really gone anywhere yet, you know?
Yeah, I think all Tony Storm there. Right, up next, Continental Classic, the finals, Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley. Now, Monty, you going to go with your head or your heart?
There you go. Right. That's a great way to phrase it. Because that's your head is definitely leaning. My head is leaning Mox. My heart is definitely leaning for Eddie because it would be a beautiful story to tell. But Mox is the guy. It's tough to really it's like it'll be a nice another first, a big major accomplishment for Moxley. So that's what I'm leaning on. It's like, who do they want to give this major accomplishment that they can always go back and say the very first Continental Classic winner was? Do they want to give it to Moxley or do they want to give it to Eddie? So I had to go against my heart. If I'm wrong, I'll be happily wrong. I'll be proud because I love Eddie. But it's always hard to pick against Moxley, even though I think it'll be an awesome favor for him to do for somebody like Eddie. So, but I went with Moxley.
Wow. Jaxie?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this has been like a great sort of tournament. I think Eddie's put a lot on the line, and I feel like he really deserves to actually make history here with being like the first ever Triple Crown. So I've really gone with my heart on this one and gone Eddie. Although you really could argue with, Mox being the safer option. I'm laying it on the line with Eddie on this one.
Yeah, I think they've gone too far. And I don't know what you think about this, Gina, but like with the story of Eddie, for him not to win at the end, I think there's a chance now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a Cinderella story with Eddie, and because he lost the first two matches of his continental tournament run, it kind of started off shaky for him, and it was kind of like, getting to a point where we were going to question, is he going to lose it this early? So the fact that he's come back on top, I feel like I have to go with my heart because I truly want Eddie to win it. I feel like he's just gone through so much, and it was a Cinderella story, and I really want him to come out on top. I won't be mad if Mox wins it because I think he will be a great, first Triple Crown champ as well. But my heart is with Eddie, and so I have to give my vote to him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Eddie there as well. Like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. Right, penultimate match, AEW TNT title, Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland, no DQ. And Gina, you can start us off this time.
No, I was hoping to go last. This is the only one that I really can't call. I'm having such a headache with this match because part of me is like, no, they probably won't give a belt to Adam Copeland this quickly. But I'm also like, no, wait, but what else? They really need to shake up this storyline with Christian a bit more because it has been so centered around the TNT Championship for a while, and he's held it for like a good 6 months now. I think that's a good time to kind of maybe move on from that. And with whoever's going to win the Battle Royale, again, we don't know who's going to win it. So part of me was thinking maybe Luchasaurus, so that if Adam Copeland wins, then Luchasaurus is still kind of going to go for it at some point against him, But yeah, ultimately, I think I'm going to go with Adam Copeland for the win, and that'll just piss Christian off. So it's a risk.
Very, very interesting. Monty, what about you?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned earlier the Jack Perry shout. I was thinking, maybe if they were to keep it on Christian, would Jack Perry return, and would that be something that anyone wanted to see? Could Jack Perry even be a babyface in this situation coming back? would that be the way they decide to go, or would he come back being the arrogant Jack Perry that he was on the way out? I don't really know, but I'm with you. It's hard for me to believe Adam's going to lose again, even though he don't. I wouldn't say he needs a title reign necessarily, because Adam is Adam. He don't necessarily need it. But I'm also where it's like, where do we go now? Is the Christian and Adam thing just going to be over if he loses here? And even though it just doesn't, is that the conclusion? And I don't necessarily know if that's where they at to either. So I think Adam probably would win, and I think that's probably the logical thing to do.
Jaxie?
Yeah, I've gone with Adam too.
Yeah, I think everybody's persuaded each other there. I think it's the best course of action. And then finally, the main event, World Heavyweight title, MJF versus Samoa Joe. So much going on, but I just got a feeling it's like a sense of deja vu from the last show where the odds are stacked. You know when the odds are stacked so much against the babyface, and you just think, I think you're going to do it. So I think I'm going to go MJF. Jaxie, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm taking a risk here. I'm going with Joe on this one.
Ooh. Monty? Just making noises.
Yeah, I can't really be mad at you, man, because I was thinking about that. This one gave me a couple of second thoughts. Does the devil make an appearance and work with Joe? Like, how do we get there? But like you said, James, man, it just feels like that might be the way to go. And when it's like that, I think, especially a year-end pay-per-view, Max has been the best, or like the most important thing necessarily. Pretty much besides the Continental Classic until they decide to do this, it's been the most important thing on the television screen for a while. And I don't necessarily think the devil makes an appearance yet. I don't think World's in or Years in, whatever the show's called. I don't think that's where the devil make an appearance. And I think that's when he loses. He loses it either to the devil or when the devil finally makes an appearance. And I just don't know if that's going to be tonight. So I'm going with MJF retains.
Yeah, my only hope is every single title in AEW held by guys who we don't know. Just in hoods and all this, like just random.
Yeah,
random trio tag team, mouse men, random tag team, masked champion.
Lady.
We're not sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not sure. So Gina, like I said, you've probably been the best with predictions this year. So last prediction of the year goes to you. MJF versus Samoa Joe. Are you going to back up Jaxie? Are you going to come with us? Come with us.
Oh gosh, guys, this is a difficult one because again, there's so many linked storylines that MJF is in right now. Like he's in quite a few, so like so many people are coming for him, and the Who is the Devil is just become a really big storyline. I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe for the win.
Oh,
I think they built him up to be a monster.
Well, Monty, been a pleasure working with you.
I think if anyone is going to take the belt from MJF, I think they've built Joe up well enough to do it. And do you know what? Joe just deserves it. He didn't get it in the last company he was with. He deserves like a title run. And I think like if anyone's going to knock MJF off the peg, I think it could be Joe with the devil's help, which is Adam Cole. And I think he'll reveal himself and be like he was plotting all along because he lost to MJF, so he decided to become his friend and help bring him down from the inside. So I think he's going to help like Joe and possibly come back, and then that's going to be a storyline for Max next year to be getting revenge against, Adam Cole or something like that. So yeah, I'm going with Joe. I'm risking it. I'm going with it.
So that is it. What it means at this moment in time, the AEW shows with one show left is Jackson James on 4, Monty Gina on 3. So, I mean, Monty Gina could technically win and we could all get points for AEW. And again, the only way Monty even draws the bonus league is that if you or I, Gina, get a perfect score. And I ain't.
I don't know, man.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we got a lot of different answers here, so I don't know about this one as far as perfect score.
It's gonna be carnage. This is carnage tonight, and we're gonna find out next week. Because at the moment the scores: Jackson on 21, Gina on 31, Monty 32, and James on 34. We already know they're going to change as soon as we start the show next week. What it's going to be like at the end, I don't know, and there is so much stuff, even just in the world of wrestling. Right, tonight you've got World's End. On the first of Raw, you've got Day 1. Second, you've got New Year's Evil, NXT. Fourth, Wrestle Kingdom. And fifth, SmackDown's New Year's Revolution. Just to get you into the year all right. Then you've got Hard to Kill, Royal Rumble, Battle in the Valley, and New Year's Dash. I mean, how are we going to fit all this in? But we will, because the WNR schedule coming up. January 6th, we're going to have part 2 of the year-end awards. January 13th will be NXT Update. January 20th will be Wrestle Kingdom. January 27th will be Classic Rumble and Predictions. And then Rumble Review and even Vengeance Day. But that is it for now. I think we'll leave everybody as we are, getting ready. That is it. Don't forget, we're across all social media. Twitter at the WNR Podcast. I'm at the WNR. You can find the entire WNR team on the Twitter banner. Monty, where can people find you?
At Mind Monty Pod on Twitter. Definitely check me out. Check the link in my bio. We will be returning in January for the next episode of the Mind Monty podcast. And we're gonna have obviously, like James just highlighted, if I just whatever wrestling I decide to talk about, I'm gonna have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there is so many things to watch right now. Jaxie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jaxie Scarlett.
And finally, Gina.
You can find me on Twitter at Purple Pain.
Also Facebook and Instagram across all Google platforms. Send us an email to WNRpodcast@gmail.com. YouTube number podcast with the latest clips and podcasts got at the same time on YouTube as do SoundCloud on your phone. Also Spotify and iTunes where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. So that is it. Next episode is year end. It's Well's End, but it's next weekend. But until then, I've been James Rowlands and I was joined by the fantastic Jaxie Scarlett. Jackson, you and I give us a lot of shit, but you showed it through this show that we've got each other's backs.
I mean, definitely. If we didn't have, discussions and disagreements over, what we discussed within wrestling, then where would the fun be in that, So have a good New Year, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight.
No doubt. And of course, the man and the mind of, who's probably a lot happier than he thought he was going to be. I mean, Monty, that went a lot better than you were expecting, I'm sure.
Definitely. Again, just it's crazy how these things work out. But you always warned me. You told me earlier this year, I remember vividly. It's like just like with Gina, kind of just the Jaxie's performance the year before and all of that. Like anything can happen with these year-end predictions, and so yeah, man. I'm looking forward to coming up with this year's list and laughing next year with you guys.
Right, shadow of a doubt. And of course, the genius of Gina. Again, I'm worried about your AEW predictions. So different to mine.
I mean, I could be totally wrong here. I could be throwing myself under the bus with this last event. But do you know what? That's what the risk is for. And again, as we just said, from our year-end predictions, things can just change so dramatically that we don't see coming. So try not to stress too much.
Yeah, right, shadow of a doubt. We'll find out who the real winner of the WNR podcast predictions is next week. Until then, thanks for listening, and bye.